has started recording. There we go. All right.
You got to do the Craig voice.
I gotta do it. Now recording, which I still think Elon Musk's baby will probably sound like that in like 2 months' time.
Oh.
Oh,
Little
that poor kid.
ACZK7, whatever it's called. I think someone actually quoted it to Elon Musk, and he was like, "What? What was it? That's your child's name?" It was like, "Oh, yeah, sure it is. Yeah."
It's probably just spelled like they say pronounce it Axel or something.
Something like that, or Jeff, something really exotic.
Nah, Sophie.
All right, so look, we are up to the final parts of, well, what I think could be the final parts, unless something happens between here and the front door. The final parts of Wave Echo Cave, which is also bringing us towards the end of the Lost Mines of Foundelver, which is awesome. Going to bring us over into some more homebrew stuff, which is going to be fun. I'm trying to capture our screens today, and just starting from the top of the rung, because we now have Valletta with us, we'll do a little bit more, maybe a bit of backstory on each of the characters, or the ones that are present at the moment. I will give a quick little synopsis on Sterling and Katana. We don't have them with us tonight, so we've got a slightly smaller group, but that's not a bad thing. I think it's going to be fun. The rookies are running riot. Okay, so Sterling, who is kind of the patriarch of the group and or the party, is a fighter, crossbow expert, with sharpshooter, which proves to be a very nice combination for killing a lot of things. But he's very honor bound, very duty driven, very much following the order of Neverwinter at the moment, and he's sort of like stand-up moral citizen. He's very straight down the line, but he's very strong with his convictions as well, which is nice. And then we have Katana, who is more sort of an honor-bound warforge that comes from Fey origins, very Oriental slash samurai inspired ranger who looks like he's dipping into cleric now as well to help out on the supporting side. And given that we don't have those two characters with us today, instead of NPCing them, I'm going to have them hang back here in Wave Echo Cave, because we've pretty much cleared this area out. There isn't a lot more left in this map. So both Sterling and Katana, after the giant facadas dropped of finding this drow figure that was kind of up in the top right hand or top left hand corner. We've got hold of him. He's back in the workshop with the two dwarves who are doing God knows what to him at the moment. Who even knows if that drow is still alive? But they're going to hang back.
Yeah.
They're going to help with basically clearing out anything else that could be lurking around here and try and I'll even move them away from the main group at the moment. They'll kind of head back towards the workshop to start, I will say, formulate their approach to clearing out the rest of this area. So that'll bring us back to Lara. If you just want to give a quick synopsis on a bit of Lara's backstory, just to help Valletta catch a bit of context as well.
Okay, you skip my Lexi's.
That's okay. Well, we haven't found Alexis just yet.
Okay. Can you come back, please? Sorry.
Sure. Kaylin, do you want to give a quick little backstory just to help out?
Okay. So, oh God, right. Kaylin is the baby and squishiest of the group. She is a half drow sorceress rogue and possibly now something else. She didn't have the easiest early life, like most adventurers. However, she was taken in by a dwarf named Vit and his husband Helion, and she was part of their thieves guild with them. A couple of months ago, she got herself into a situation where she was sent to relieve some very rare and incredibly powerful magical items from a wealthy family in her hometown. However, her guild partner for this particular heist are very jealous, purposely ensured that she'd get caught. And Kaylin had to go on the run. Veet and Hellion hatched a plan to sneak her out of her hometown and immediately sent her to Neverwinter to assist Gundren in getting himself to Waybeco.
Nice. Well played. Well played. Um,
Awesome.
Lara, are you ready to give a quick little rundown?
Yes.
Nice. Well,
Yes.
awesome.
I got rid of the chocolate.
I'm doing the exact same thing.
I want chocolate.
Should have got
I have
snacks.
Oreos.
What was that?
I said I have Oreos, but
Oh,
So I'm Lara. I, also known as the Reaper of the group, a fighter rogue background, which has given me one hell of an aim against all creatures we come up against. My background is I have a very inquisitive mind, and I set out to learn all I can of my surrounds. As a child, I was kept at home and basically made to study. As a result of all these studies, I know far too much about caves and underground dwellings and that. Gotta say, the inquisitive mind thing is getting me into trouble just a little bit. There has been some close calls of me going rushing in because I am nowhere near a tank. And yeah, at this point, I'm falling more and more in love with my crossbow. For better or worse, we'll see where that takes us.
Excellent. And we all know Valletta's background, but Isaac, if you want to give just a real quick synopsis, and I'll give a bit of context on where we are in the grand scheme of things as well.
Certainly. Valletta is a cleric of the Temple of Ilmater, a god who sort of represents the sphere of enduring trial and tribulation stoically, and also healing others and bringing pain to evildoers. So a sort of stoic, but also compassionate and occasionally retributive kind of religion.
Nice.
She is both, healer and capable healer and determined inquisitor of sorts.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
Also combat medic.
We'll take your head off, but reattach it for you as well. Nice. All right, and just to give an idea of where we are, sort of like in the grand scheme of things, we started off the Lost Mines of Fandelver very much just kind of on the trail to getting Gundren back, who's one of the two dwarves that's back in the workshop. So there was a fair amount of work and chasing down to get him back. But during the process, there was a run-in with a lot of obviously goblinoids, goblins, bugbears, all that kind of stuff. But there was more so probably about it wasn't the third session, but sort of like the third act that started seeing a little bit more activity going on around the Sword Coast. There was a lot more foot traffic shown of more of orcish descent, more like that there was definitely something on the move, or a lot of war bands getting back on the move. And Fandalen is a place that has known some pretty big assaults in the past, so the ramping up of orc activities made them pretty jumpy. They're all freaking out a fair amount. But apart from that, there is also when we were back at Cragmore Castle, there was the appearance of what seemed to be more like a drow force that was hot on the heels of the group, as well as a very large dragon that seemed to have someone mounted on its back, which was quite terrifying. But the group got away. There was a bit of a chase scene and managed to get out, and very sneakily, whilst having some Drow scouts on their back, managed to throw them off the trail and head south down to Fandalen and into here, into Wave Echo Cave. So there seems to be, yeah, something brewing in the background. So part of what's been happening is that Sterling is now very eager to get back up to Neverwinter, up to the north, report what's going on there, and his direct orders were to basically secure this area of Wave Echo Cave and also to bolster Fandalen as well. So here we are at sort of like the point of everything's come together, everything's starting to get to a point now that everything seems well in control now around here with Wave Echo Cave, which is nice. So as we had the big kind of execution of a lot of undead in this area, just to kind of recap in that really quickly as well, this cavern that we're in at the moment is like a banquet room or an old banquet room or a meeting area that was probably like a mess hall for the miners. There was a lot of kind of like high ledges at either end and a lower section in the middle, carved stone stairs, and the tables are just wrecked. And we could see so like the skeletal remains of a lot of dead warriors, gnomes, dwarves, what looks like orcs, ogres, and it looks like it was a pretty fierce fight down here. But obviously the ghouls that were down here were kind of feeding on that for as long as possible, even though this place has probably been deserted for a really, really long time. Um, with that, the three of you are here in the area at the moment. We've had Sterling and Katana have headed back towards the workshop. It's as they've headed back, there's sort of a you can hear off to the sort of like the west, a clatter of activity. Something's going on over there. You can hear that there's sort of like a clang, and you can hear muffled shouting, and then you can hear a little bit of a ruckus breaking out, and you can hear sort of like the grunts and groans of something fighting in the background. It's you're not entirely sure what it is, but you notice this door off to the west here. It very quickly just smashes open and kind of spills out. And I'll just open up and reveal this a little bit further. It opens up and spills out, and you see falling through the area are a pair of bugbears, kind of stumbling back and looking slightly um, disheveled, a little bit torn up as well. At this point, Matt, do you want to run through a quick little description for me here?
Yeah, sure. So, walking through the door after the bugbears, you see a hulking 7.5 foot figure, grey skin, huge beard, green cloak on his back, wielding a very large great axe. There it is.
So as these
Right.
two reel back, and this figure is standing in front of them, kind of patting the axe in hand, almost like a baseball bat. I'm going to go ahead and get everyone to roll initiative for me. Nice.
Nice one.
Oh, very nice. All right. Whoa, that's loud. All right, and I'm going to roll for these guys. I really should have brought them up earlier, but hey, bear with me for just a sec. All right. Roll initiative. Holy damn. Okay. It's going to be one of those nights, huh? All right. So as this kicks off, the duo of bugbears that have kind of skittered onto the floor look over their shoulders, seeing Valletta, so like in the immediate firing line. But the two of them are well and truly fixated on the figure that's in front of them. The two of them are going to go ahead and make attacks on this figure in front of them. Whether or not they're coming through.
Nope, that one does.
Ooh, they're rolling with advantage at the moment. That's not what we want. Bear with me for just a sec. Normal roll. That's better.
So, right, are we going for the first two or the
Go for the
first
first
and the
two.
third? Which numbers am I counting on that one? Sorry,
Excellent.
because
Okay.
they always show up in a different order for me.
So we'll go with a 21 for the first one attacking and a 10 for the second one attacking.
That 21's an initiative roll.
Oh, that is an initiative, sorry. Let's go with... Okay, so 10 and 7. So that's some pretty low rolls.
Sweet. Yeah, they both miss.
All right. So it looks like they're pretty dazed. They're pretty out of it, and been slightly battered already. They're looking a little bit worse for wear. But Valletta, what would you like to do in the face of this oddity?
Oh, so the two of them are attacking that other person.
Yes, correct.
Ah, okay. Well, I shall. Well, I don't know. I don't know what she'll say, but she will charge forward and bring out her mace at any rate, and just say, "Hold on, I'm coming." Um, let's see.
Oof.
Nice. Good AC of 18. Nice.
So she will swing with her mace for 24 to hit, for 3 bludgeoning and 1 radiant damage.
Nice. So the mace just kind of coming down squarely in the middle of the back of this first bugbear. As it kind of haunches forward and turns back with a snarl to look over its shoulder. It don't know what it was expecting, but this is definitely working in its not in its favor. Have you got just the one attack, or have you got two at this level?
At the 1 attack, but I will crit with a spiritual weapon as a bonus
Oh,
action. Conjure the
nice.
sword of red light.
Oof. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is a huge amount of damage. What does your spiritual weapon manifest as?
I am thinking just a red blade, but the hilt has like the iconic like red strings wrapped around it, and it's sort of dripping down with like these deep blood red strings around the hilt.
Beautiful. Very much in line with Ilmater. Wonderful. All right. That brings it to an end for that turn. Kaylin, what would you like to do?
Kaylin is going to run forward to about here. And cast. Which one has been damaged?
The one that's up to the north more, so the top of
That
the
one?
two.
Okay, I am going to cast Hex
Okay.
on that one. Uh, hold up. And that's the bonus action. Oh, it came through twice, sorry.
So cancel
Um,
the first one.
and that one will be for an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Oh, two Eldritch Blasts.
Oof, nice. Both 19s to hit. Jeez. How do you smoke this one
Yep.
up to the top?
Uh, Eldritch Blast will come out as a smoking black beam of energy and encircle its head in black shadow. And as the shadow dissipates, the head's gone.
Nice. This headless, now stiff body just clams up and seems to just kind of topple over rigid, almost like it's frozen in place without its head, and just kind of snaps onto the floor, no longer living in any way, shape, or form. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your move?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Our large 7 foot tall figure that is standing in the doorway, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna step over onto the body of the fallen bugbear, and like he's real pissed about what's been happening. So he's absolutely raging. He's gonna take a big swing at that bugbear.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm in the wrong.
Oh, that'll
There we
hit.
go. Excellent. That's 11 damage.
Yes, yes, it is. Nice. And you've got a second attack on top of that, or just the one?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay. 11 points of damage. So the axe hammering down and cleaving a large part of this bugbear out. Bugbears are big by any stretch of the imagination, but next to your form, they're looking like they've got a very formidable foe in front of them. Nicely played. Lara, what would you like to do?
So I've seen my comrades all go through the door, so I am going to follow. Da, 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 da. Oh, yep. I'm going to follow to there and then go for this gentleman that is still here.
Gentle bear.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
Well, that one does.
22 will hit, definitely.
Yes. So that's 15 damage, and then no, 12 definitely doesn't hit again. So yeah, it's
Okay.
just one hit.
That's nice for 15 damage.
Yes.
On the dot, how do you take this one out?
Oh, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy each time. But no, this has somehow managed to just hit him square in the chest as to where his heart would be if he wasn't so empty.
As the bolt seems to pass through its torso at the back, beautifully on target with the heart, kind of almost skipping through on the right angle just to bypass the rib cage and straight into the heart. It's a quick and merciful death, and a very effective one, as it drops absolutely still onto the ground. These things are both taken out of action, and standing in front is curious looking beast. Matt, give us a run through on what you'd like to do next.
Oop, sorry, I dropped out for a second there.
Oh, all good. Got you now.
What's happening?
What would you like to do next? Lara's noted that
Uh,
she's still got her crossbow out.
oh, yeah. Hmm. Gonna look very warily and back towards the door a little bit, but lower the axe. And I'll stop raging.
All right, nice, very nice.
Thank Valletta for running headlong into danger to help out a stranger.
But of course, are you in need of medical assistance?
I'm actually okay. Those guys sucked.
His hulking form
Kaylin
seems
is
to be
just
absolutely it looks like he's been beaten and kind of smacked around a little bit, possibly even incarcerated for a little while, but his health seems to be top notch. Um, as a bit of context, this guy's been running around down here for a little while now as well, in a similar vein to Valletta, but seems to have kind of broken free and has been running a bit of riot around a chunk of this map and causing a bit of chaos for the forces that have been occupying this area.
Nice.
It's been a lot of fun. What are you guys doing down here?
God's work.
Was
God's
that work?
work.
I like this one.
God's work
You know,
of
just
cleansing the place of dark spirits and unrepentant drow warlords, apparently.
Caelan's like hands quickly go up and goes, "She doesn't mean me. I just look similar."
This is not the drow you're looking for.
Jedi mind trick. This is not the drow you are looking for.
Cast charm person. Nice. So as this figure seems to be of a similar ilk and probably wanting to get out of here as well. We've got a temporary new member to the group to hang out with us for possibly the rest of this session. But what would you guys like to do next? Given that we look like we're in the clear, that we've definitely taken out what needed to be taken out in this area. But what would you like to do next?
Um, Definitely want to check the room that he came running from.
Sure. So let's So he's come running helter skelter up these stairs that are over to the west here. Moved pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious about this too. I was quite busy with those bugbears. Let's go
Nice.
back for another look.
So as he as he's torn on through, he hasn't really had a chance to have a look around. But with Kalen in the front there, Kalen, how do you want to approach this area? What do you want to do? How do you want to do this one?
Stealthily.
Okay, go ahead and
I'm gonna
roll
stealth
me.
down to the bottom of the stairs.
Cool. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Oi.
Nice. All right. So that's an 11, but you can start opening up and seeing some of this area. Obviously, there seems to be a bit of water around here, which is always nice. This is that one.
I don't know. From what we heard before, would or might not be very nice.
So you can see in front of you here, it's a still pool that is filling a large amount of this cavern. The water is very dark and it reveals very little of what might be laying within. The shore of the pool consists of a thin layer of broken shells from strange pale mussels, and a fishy odor hangs in the air. It's not the nicest of smells, that's for sure. I'm just going to open up some more of this so you can see what's going on.
Uh, Throwing up dancing lights. Not for my benefit, I'm fine. It's if any of the others come in.
Okay.
Like, that's a great idea. Thank you. I was about to light a
Yep.
torch.
And yeah. Is
What?
I won't draw them, but I'm just gonna call over my shoulder and just say, do you think it's a good idea if I put one of these dancing lights right at the surface of the water to see if we can see anything fishy? Pun
No
intended.
pun intended. Beautiful.
Pun intended. It's totally intended.
I love it. I love it. I don't know what does everyone think?
I'm still very
Yeah.
wary of our new friend here.
Good call. Good call.
I just want to stride up next to the wizard to be in close range in case she needs support. And I say, go for it.
Sorcerer. I don't need books.
Ooh.
Nice. So as the lights pop up one at a time, just illuminating with a faint thud as they come into materialize, you can see that this inky black water is it's quite still and is not moving a heck of a lot. Um, But yeah, how do you want to walk through here? It seems eerily quiet in here, but you can definitely see the footfalls where this large figure has come through and been chased by bugbears. They've definitely come through from the north and headed up from the south and headed up in a northerly direction.
Uh, because
But,
we heard from Alexis what happened last time at the other body of water, Kaylin's just gonna like pop the dancing light barely millimeters above the water and kind of just move it around and see if there's any reaction.
nice. As the light skims over the top, it doesn't part much light into the inkiness of this water. Um, but nothing seems to be happening. It seems to be just very, very quiet.
Okay.
Thermod is just looking over Valletta's shoulder curiously. Oh, straight over Valletta's head, actually. Wondering, like,
I, c-
what? Are we fishing? What's happening here?
I call out to Lara. I don't think it has the tentacles that is in the other body of water that nearly ate Alexis.
Well,
What's
that
an
is a good
Alexis?
sign. We should get to and send our friend here first,
Yes,
so
big
he can
guy. Would you
investigate
like to
further.
go?
Right. Um, Thermod will reach into a bag hanging at his belts and pull out a small fuzzy ball
Nice.
and just gently lob it down those stairs to land by the lake.
Beautiful.
Karen's moving up the stairs a little bit, just in case.
Excellent. Do you want to roll for this one for me?
um, I just did. Got a one.
Oh, nice. Got a one. Okay. Sweet. I was hoping so. I was hoping so. All right. So as this little oh, where is he gone? Where is he gone? He's around here somewhere. Do do. There he is. Bear with me for a sec. I might NPC this guy just to make things a little bit easier.
Yes.
Do.
Oh, sweet. Cam's in the game.
I'm in the game. So as this little ball rolls forward, it starts kind of ebbing and shifting and changing as you look. It kind of seems to expand, and you see like a little claw coming out, a little tail starting to form. When in front of you, you see pop into existence. Hang on, this thing's just being a jerk. There we go. You see pop out. What is
Lexi's.
a small weasel?
Ah,
No, I just had an
wait,
Alexis in
is it
pocket.
like one of those weasel balls?
Almost like a weasel ball, completely like a weasel ball. It seems to be chasing itself around at the moment, sniffing and scuttling and looking around. As it does so, it's straight away it just seems to look over its shoulder and look back to the large figure and squeaks a couple of times. Um, it goes ahead and kind of has a bit of a sniff around the room to see what's around, see what's going on, taking in its surrounds. Oh, now it's doing that thing to me where it wants to roll double all the time. So I'll go with the 14. So looking around as it sniffs around, looking curiously at the water, it
To be
it's
fair,
not.
it does have advantage on any perception checks.
It does, which is nice. It's got keen hearing and smell. So for the 14,
And it's got a +3 to perception. Oh,
it
no,
does.
that's accounted for. Yep.
Yeah. So as it does look around, it just looks back over its shoulder to the figure again and squeaks a trio of times and begins scuttling forward.
Well,
What
as he
would you
gets
guys like
closer,
to do?
forward. I think you meant like back to me. Yeah, I'll follow him. I trust him.
All right.
Kaylin just looks towards Lara like, what are we doing?
We shall follow the big man, but be at the ready. I still don't trust him.
Fair enough.
Oh, Lara's back there. There we go. I was just looking for Lara. There she is. All right. As you start progressing forward, gonna say pretty much Valletta, our new member, and the Weasel, a trio of interesting things seem to reach out towards you guys to try and grab hold of you. It looks like, lo and behold, that this is looking a lot like the scenario that Malexis was looking at, more to the north, around the other body of water. Let's see if I'll
I
take
was
the
wrong.
top. I'll take the top out of these ones. So for the Weasel, it's going to be a 14 to try and grab hold of him, which it manages to. It grabs hold of our small friend the Weasel. Then a 10 for Thurmond, and then a 10 for Valletta. So I would say that apart from the Weasel, this thing misses altogether. As you glance over the room, one of the what looks like a stalagmite that's hanging from the ceiling actually looks like it is definitely not a stalagmite, as a single eye opens up to take into account what's going on in front of it. Um, let's go ahead and roll advantage again. I'll just quickly clear this out.
Advantage? Did you just say we
Oh,
have
sorry,
advantage?
I love
roll it
advantage.
initiative. My bad.
So close.
So close. It would have been way
Darn.
better. Very nice.
Is that the exact same roll as before?
Nah, I got a 10 before.
Possibly.
You got a 10.
Yeah, but I got a 10 before. Oh.
Rocking it.
All right, I'm gonna throw Weasel in there too.
Not the weasel.
Not the Weasel.
Thought it was a ferret.
Hey,
Similar.
we could flavor text it. Hey, shit, the weasel has an attack. It does 1v1.
It does. It does.
Yes.
Oops, let's go the other way.
But it has a
Decent.
+5 to hit. That's impressive.
All right. So as this thing seems quite apparent and is dangling off the roof, Valletta, what would you like to open up with?
So I see the tentacle coming out of the water, or
It's snaked across the roof and has dropped down to try and grab hold of each of you, and has missed the two largest ones, but has managed to snag the small weasel.
I would like to stride forward and smash my mace against the tendril that has the weasel.
Nice. Go for it.
Oof, 7 to hit.
Ah, that misses. That misses. As you smash into the tendril, it's spongy. It feels like it doesn't seem all that substantial, but the strength lies more so in the tightness of the way that it's bound together. It doesn't look very thick, but it's hardy. It's definitely very hardy. Anything else that you would like to do with your bonus action?
I will conjure another spiritual weapon.
Nice. Oh damn. Okay, that will hit. As the red blade of Ilmater manifests and slices down at this tendril, it severs it clean. It tears through it and frees the weasel that seems to squeak in. It's definitely grateful for not becoming prey. And as it clatters onto the floor, it looks for sort of like the quickest escape. It wants to get the hell out of there. Anything else you'd like to do with your move?
I will say to the weasel, "It's all right. Just get behind me." On the off chance familiar that can understand speech.
Nice, nice.
Who
Okay.
knows with the foul sorceries of the wizards?
Okay, so now this thing definitely it was trying to get the drop on you guys, but it hasn't worked out. It's gonna go ahead and reach out to try grab the two of you again. It seems to be less concerned with the weasel. So again, I'll just go with the top one that it comes up with. Okay, so a 23 to reach for Valletta, and a 20 to reach for Thurmand at the back there. I'm imagining that that's probably going to grab hold AC 13 for Thurmand and 18 for Valletta. So you're effectively grappled at the moment as it begins lifting you upwards and suspending you off the ground as it's holding you in place with its grapple. Kaylin, what would you like to do?
Um, Squishy would like to run to the bottom of the stairs. Does she have line of sight from just here?
She would do, yes.
Okay. Um, because my hex is a concentration for 1 hour, would that technically still be up from the
No, you've
bugbears?
got to actively switch it over to another target while it's in effect.
All good. I will cast hex then. Um, as my bonus action,
Nice.
and then I will Eldritch Blast. And where is my hex down here? If it hits.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's tough. It's a hard one, but out of the two shots, the first one hits, doing the 9 plus the 5 damage. But the second one doesn't. It looks like the hide of this thing is tough. Rocky crags that seem to be like plates that overlap, almost like some sort of mutated armadillo hanging from the ceiling. It does a good amount of damage, but is there anything else that you'd like to do with your move?
Yes. Take a step back.
Okay, no worries. All right, over to our very large our very large figure that is currently suspended in the air. What would you like to do?
So am I grappled at the moment?
You are grappled at the moment, correct?
Is that a strength save, strength check to get out of that?
To get out of the grapple, it is basically you can basically it's a contested athletics roll, so you can go ahead and roll athletics to see if you can break out of the grapple, but you do have for this one you've got a disadvantage against the strength check, but given your background, I can think of a way that you could overcome that.
Yeah, that seems fair. Thormund is real fucking unhappy about getting thrown around like this because he's 7 foot, like 300 pounds. He's not used to getting manhandled. You see him drop the axe, and fur just starts sprouting out between the plates of his armor. The
Nice.
nose and the mouth start elongating into more of a muzzle, and suddenly you're looking at a 9 foot, 700-pound grizzly bear.
So with that, there is a change, a slight change, as his form erupts and becomes a gigantic, large grizzly bear. What would you like to do next? It's still grabbing hold of you, and it definitely looks like it's straining to hold the weight, but you're still grappled.
All right. All right. I'll get out of that then.
All right.
You want a strength check or?
Roll athletics.
Let's see. Now, is that a +4 instead of a +3 when I'm a bear?
Let's
Ah,
check that real quick.
because I use the creature's strength,
Correct. Yes.
so it should be
So,
+4. So still a 9.
all right. So nine's not enough to break out. It's definitely you're clawing and scrabbling at it to try and grab hold of it, but it's holding on tight. This thing must be pretty goddamn hungry. Lara, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna do what I always do. Shoot everything in sight.
Nice.
Which, if I'm lucky, do I technically have a clean shot?
Not at the moment with the size of the bear that's in front of you, but you could squeeze through either to the north or the south.
I'm gonna squeeze through to the north. Because I still wanna... I wanna keep the... what is now a bear in front of me.
Fair enough.
No trust, no trust. Alright. And gonna try and shoot mass tentacles.
The tentacles that are grabbing the bear or that are grabbing Valletta?
Valletta.
Okay,
Because Valletta healed me earlier.
nice. That'll hit with beautiful precision. You fire off, and it just skips straight through the entire tentacle, snapping it off. And the black ichor just kind of spraying off and into the dark water. Valletta kind of dropping back down onto the ground, onto her feet. She's no longer grappled.
Is the ferret still grappled?
The ferret is not grappled. The ferret is looking over its back, over at Valletta at the moment, at her feet.
Ferret's fine. Okay, then I'm going to shoot at the monster.
Okay.
Second one will hit.
Okay, second one will hit. Yes. For 16 piercing. Nice.
20 total. Including necrotic.
Oh, very good. So you did activate that at the same time. Very good.
I actually haven't unactivated it at this point.
It's still going. It's still
I'm
going.
a little scared, but it's like I'm loving it.
Nice.
I'm loving the damage it does, and do you know what? I'm going to just one more attack,
Okay.
for better or for worse. At the monster. For worse, apparently.
Oh no. Okay, so as one shot fires off, one of the bolts finding its mark, hitting this thing square in the eye as it seems to recoil and scream a little bit. Oh, pardon me, as it kind of shakes and moves in place on its position up on the roof. It's done some damage. It's definitely done some damage. That will bring us over to our weasel friend, who at this point is actually just going to scurry up Valletta's leg and perch up on her shoulder, seeking a bit of safe harbor there, as it's not too willing to tackle this thing on its own. That's his go. Brings us back to Valletta.
She's a bit slightly nonplussed by the weasel climbing up her, but uh, it gestures with like a hand towards her sword, illuminated in red light and dripping, with bloody bandages and red strings, and it will slash at the tentacle holding the bear.
Okay, nice. As it rolls, nice. That'll hit. Again, severing another one of these tentacles and sending it spraying and squirming as the what was starting to sag and really work hard to keep the bear aloft drops him altogether and unravels from around his torso. The bear is on the loose.
And as her action, she will bring her hand to her amulet with the two hands bound by red string, that is the symbol of Ilmater, and sort of pull from her necklace a handful of red fire and hurl it towards the creature as she casts a guiding bolt.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, and that will hit. Beautiful. Alright, so as the radiant bolt fires across and illuminates the cavern in the midst of the dancing lights, splashing against this beast as it recoils further. More of its tendrils seem to be snaking out, but recoil for a second. It is looking pretty scorched. It's taken its toll. It's definitely taken a large toll on this beast. Well played. Anything else that you would like to do for your turn?
I shall. So the blue circles are the dancing lights, aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I suppose I'll just step forward closer to the creature and try to attract its attention,
Okay.
rather than have it have the tentacles go for Lara in the back.
Uh-huh. All right.
Barrett can come with me.
Yep, he'll be riding on your shoulder. He's riding shotgun. All right. Brings us back to our dangling giant witch's hat looking thing that's dangling from a roof. Um, Even though some of the tentacles are recoiled, three of them shoot forward. One aimed at Valletta, another one aimed at the bear, and this time, one reaching out and trying to grapple for Lara as well. Again, I'll go for the ones that come through on the top. So, towards Valletta for a 14, which I believe will miss. Nowhere
Yeah.
near enough. The next one, a 14, reaching out for Thermand, which will. I think that actually hits. It manages to grab and start grappling again.
Um, hold on, because I've
Is your
got
AC 13?
14.
14. It fails. Oh no, actually, it hits it. That's the AC, and it rolled the 14, so it has managed to grapple.
Ah, damn it.
Yep, it's grabbed hold, and then a 23 to grab hold of Lara as well. So it's unable to grab hold of Valletta, but it has snagged the bear and started roping in tighter and kind of binding through under the arms and around the neck and starting to lift the bear up again. And one of the tendrils wrapping around and pinning Lara's arms by her sides. Kaylin, you're up.
It's just grabbed Lara.
It's grabbed Lara and the
It
bear that's
has.
in front of you.
How's the creature looking?
Very scorched. It's got a bolt embedded in its one eye that's peering out, and it looks like it's been burnt with radiant flame as well.
Okay. Kaylin's just gonna squeeze down just here and going to just shout, "Let her go!" and Eldridge blast at the tentacle holding Lara.
Okay. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. So
Did
point
the
point blank range as the
Oh, it didn't come through.
yeah, it did come through. It
The hex.
annihilates a chunk of the because it is still hexed as well. It annihilates a chunk of the tendril, and it just goes limp and unravels around Lara. She's no longer grappled.
Oh, and 6 damage for hex.
Okay. Yes. Nope, that's fine. That was more than enough to take the make enough damage to take that tendril out.
Awesome. Sorry, my hex wouldn't come through. I don't know why.
Oh, good.
And so that's my action. Just want to double check. Uh, Sorry, just double checking.
That's all right.
Mm, would it be? I have bonus action ability to weapon fighting.
Okay.
Would that? Could I use my bonus action to throw a dagger at the?
No, it's if you've used Eldritch Blast, you could probably follow it up with another cantrip. If you
Oh, I have 2 Eldritch blasts.
you
So
do
could I
you do
send the second blast to free the bear?
Absolutely, go for it.
Awesome. Okie dokie. And that will also have hex on it if I can get that to come through.
Nice, but it just misses as the hexbolt or as the eldritch blast smashes into the tendril. It looks like it frays and gives for a second, but it still holds. It's still in play.
Done. Kaylin will back up a bit, stay out of tendril range.
Okay. Nice. All right. Our large angry bear. What would you like to do?
I can't attack that tendril that's holding me, can I?
You can roll an athletics, or basically if you're using the stats, is there athletics in there?
No,
No,
it's
there are
just like a
not.
normal.
But I would say just give me a straight strength roll. There's a DC to break through it, but I'm pretty confident that you'll probably break through it.
Oh wait, that was a +3. It was meant to be a plus. Meant to be plus
That's right.
4. So
+4.
19.
That does it. That does it. So as your claw digs into one of the tendrils, it rips it to pieces. It is absolutely torn to pieces once you've got hold of it. You're no longer grappled.
Great. Was that my action?
That was you've attacked. You've got an attack, but you've still got movement. And I'd imagine for a brown bear, you've got multi-attack, so you've got one more attack as well. Or
Excellent.
you've probably got a bite left if that was a claw attack.
Cool. How high off the ground is this creature?
It's pretty low hanging. It's quite large, so it's within reach. If you're going to get next to it and engage in melee, you'll be able to reach it, especially given your height as well.
Excellent. Well, since I really hate getting grappled, he's now raging. He's
All
gonna
right.
move the 40 feet to go stand on, like, just fucking vault past Valletta. Get right up in here, and where is that?
All right. So the bite attack, you rip into this thing, jaws clamping and smashing into its hide. But this thing is tough. The rocky exterior of it is not giving away. You're locked on and try and tear a piece off, but it seems unaffected. Lara, what
Eh,
would you like to do?
I got all excited. It just started raining. It's quite loud. Okay, well, so I'm no longer stuck in the tendril, so
You're
which
not.
means
Nope. Caleb
thank
busted you
you.
out. She lit that thing up with an eldritch blast.
Cheers, Kaylin. And
All
Valletta's
good.
fine.
Valletta's fine. She's free of anything. She just has a weasel on her shoulder.
I'm not gonna shoot the weasel. I'm just gonna shoot that big bad thing there.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
It's sugar. I'm assuming the first two at least hit.
They hit. They
What?
hit.
What? And can I please spend a? Do I need? Alright, no. No, I don't want to waste it. Never mind. I'll take those as flat.
Nice. Beautiful. So 16 plus the 2 and 18 plus the 1. How do you finish this thing off?
I'm so sorry, Thermand. I will steal your thunder.
nope, be my guest.
Basically, whatever tendrils it has left, it's just gone and shot them both off. So that it just slowly is bleeding out. And after the
Nice.
bite attack, it's just sort of going limp in Thurman's mouth.
Oh damn, that rain is going nuts out there. So that's perfect. So as the bolts kind of do the dirty work and this thing starts bleeding out and losing its ability to fight back, Therman's jaws starting to crunch down on it, and it's a combination. It seems to get crushed in between his jaws, but at the same time getting peppered with bolts. The thing just falls flat and lands in the water. It is well and truly dead. Well played. That was nicely done. What would you like to do next? That brings us out of combat.
Oh, shake the body around a bit and then like love it onto the shore and just kind of sit down. Like the bear in the circus kind of look, that sitting backwards.
Yogi sitting back and just enjoying a bit of beach time.
You said it had a rocky exterior.
Yeah,
Can we see if we can like try and take some of the skin or natural armor?
you can try get a couple of plates off. It's almost like interwoven scales, rocky scales.
Cool.
But give me a survival roll to see if we can do a little
Please
bit
roll
of
well.
disassembly. That's good.
Can
Nice.
I was about to say I was going to
Yeah,
assist her, but she
I
doesn't
was
need it.
about to say the same, but
So with that, you're very aptly. It's almost like not exactly like a dragon, but you've had experience with getting scales off a beast before. Actually, Lara has a good bit of experience with that. You managed to get 5 plates or 5 intact plates of this stuff, this weird armor,
Awesome.
cut off from it, and managed to stow them and bag them for future use if you'd like.
So 5 roper scale slash plates.
Yes,
Awesome.
nicely
Is
done.
there anything else that it could possibly? Can we look it over and see if there's anything else we could possibly get from it?
What are
Um,
you going to take out its eyes?
its
I don't know.
eyes,
Anything
its
like you
eye
could
is
sell or
ruined. The
use a
eye is
tentacle to
yeah.
make some mirth,
definitely
or
ruined. The rest of it is in so much disrepair. That's all that's able to be taken out of it. There's unfortunately nothing else.
Oh, good. Is the water still inky or?
It's still inky. It's still inky. It's
Okay.
still very still now. It's rippling from the mass of this roper dropping down dead and crashing into the water. Um, but apart from that, it's almost impossible to see the bottom of it. But it's definitely a chunk of water that's sitting there. Who knows the last time that this thing moved? It looks like it kind of furrows off up to the north, up here, but it's just stagnant. It's not moving.
Oh, good. Head down this little area.
Sure.
Dermot will look at you guys, look at the southern passageway, and like start walking down that way. And then take a big whiff and see if he can smell anything that's untoward down that direction.
Nice. Give me a perception roll.
Are you becoming unbearable?
Oh
There we go.
no.
I've got advantage on
You have got advantage,
perception
yes,
rolls.
for keen
So
smell. So sniffing down, you don't smell anything untoward. There's a slight scent of undead, but you've been down this direction before. There was nothing back then, and it smells the same now. It smells unchanged.
yeah, just wander down forward then.
All right. Nice. So as you're heading down that direction, for Thermand, this is familiar territory. This is nothing out of the ordinary, which is good. Let me just update that real quick and display a little bit more. For all intensive purposes, this area is cleared. There's nothing else that seems to be left around this area. As you come down this direction, you can basically see. Well, that's hide, not reveal.
Just like
Reveal,
scattered
don't hide.
corpses in
Let me just
pieces.
hide more stuff for you. Um, this comes down to the way that you came in. This is basically the round trip that allows you to see where you made your entry initially. So
Anything off to the sides here?
there's a small little nook that's just a caved in area. There's a lot of these cave ins throughout these passages. It's nothing too crazy. It's a bit of a labyrinth, but quintessentially, these are just intertwining corridors that seem to have had more function when they were in one piece. But with all of the cave ins and the seismic activity around here, it's in ruins. It's all smashed to pieces.
Okay.
So with
The
that,
bear
what
seems to kind of like shrug and look around and like, all right, what do you guys want to do? Like, I've seen this shit.
Uh, maybe go back to the forge.
Okay, yep. So you have got the options. I'll lay them out. So you've got the ability to go back to the forge and go and there's a prisoner back in that direction. We've also got Sterling and Katana who are hanging back to clear out or basically make sure that everything is taken care of in Wave Echo Cave. Apart from that, Fandalen is close by. It's up to you guys which way you'd like to go. I'd imagine that would be the two options at the moment: go back to the forge, or start heading towards Fandalen.
Open the forge. I want to open the forge. I want to open the forge. I want to open the forge.
Sure, you can head
I do
back.
want to see if they managed to open it with my key.
Yeah, they're definitely back there with the key. So if you
Head
want to
back to the forge
Like,
then.
I'm a
travel back
bear.
that way.
Like, I can't really voice an opinion. I'm grunting and snuffling at the weasel. We're having a conversation to ourselves.
Nice.
Do you
Apparently, Valletta has
understand
something
us?
that smells good. Oh, I can understand you.
All right, so heading back to the forge, if you want to drag your icons over, we'll make it quick. We'll make it a quick trip around there.
The-
The weasel
Just
definitely
appear
didn't.
in the room
Just bamf.
To
and
the right, to the right.
Ta-da.
just appear in the room and scare the ever living daylights out of Katana. Woof!
Just a bear bursts
Oh.
through these doors like, hey guys, what's up?
Shit.
And it doesn't help that they just see me walking behind, crossbow still raised, aim at the bear.
Behind. Just gonna throw
Yeah.
out there. Still a large creature. That can be ridden.
He is a
Just
furry
walking
trap.
Oh.
I'm not good with animal handling. Someone else can ride the bear with his furry balls.
Oh, wild shape. You have no clothes. Oh dear.
Kalen's going to approach the doppelganger.
Okay, yep. He's
Is he
still
awake?
bagged. He's still bagged. You can't tell. He's got a bag over his head and his hands are bound behind his back. Very tightly bound. As you walk in, Thornton just looks over his shoulder and nods. He looks like he's breathing. That much is
Okay.
apparent.
She's just gonna kind of like shove his head to see if he reacts.
He reacts. He squirms and sluggish, but he's definitely still alive.
Okay, mister. Now that we got that out of the way, where's our cat?
You just hear a muffled sound coming from the bag that's over his head.
Kalen takes off the bag and removes whatever ball gag is in his mouth.
I like that it's automatically a ball gag.
Repeat, where is our cat?
He kind of coughs and splutters a little bit. His eyes starting to swell shut, and he's on his right side, and he's
I will point
moves his
out
jaw a
Kalen's
little bit.
hand is. I'll point out that Kalen's hand has like shadow wrapping around it, and she's like very clearly, like, you do something and I will throw this in your face very quickly.
He looks up to you with just a smile. He seems, for someone that would be very sadistic, he doesn't seem terribly unmoved by the way that he's been treated, but looks up to meet your eyes and just gives a nice little curled smile. He seems definitely aggressive, but trying to be as condescending as possible. Just looks to you and looks to you
Very
and
quietly, like
says,
there's a 9 foot bear that like
"Oh
heads
yeah."
up, sneaking behind Kaylin to just kind of emphasize her point.
I
Wait,
feel
how
like
close?
you need to roll a stealth roll if you're going to try and sneak.
Oh, I'm really sneaking up on Kaylin. He can definitely see me.
Oh
Kaylin looks
yeah,
like she's
Joe
busy.
should roll a perception check. I just want to check to see. I doubt I'll notice. Yeah, I didn't notice.
Didn't
You
even.
didn't.
I'm too focused on beating the living daylights out of this thing that's stolen our Malexi's.
Yeah, and I am standing. How tall are you? Like 3.5 feet?
I am. No, I'm not 3.5. I'm 4 something. Hold on.
Adorable. So I'm
I'm not
like,
big, but 4'8". I'm 4'8". I'm just shy of 5 foot. I'm not that short,
excellent. So you've got a
but I'm
monstrosity
smaller
standing
than,
behind you with like big claws and teeth.
like, almost twice my height. Like, literally almost twice my height.
Hmm. Just
Nice.
to I'm just going to assist you on any intimidation or persuasion rolls you have.
So the drow looking up, um, rather smugly, literally just comes out with the one line of, "Your hospitality leaves a lot to be desired, but thank you for such a warm welcome."
I punch him in the face. Again, I might hit, but I still have no actual damage to it, so he should be fine.
Oh, it'll definitely be non-lethal, but he is unconscious again.
Shoot Lara a look.
I am going to pick him up by the collar and start slapping him awake. And then once he wakes up, I'm just going to be like, again, where's the cat?
I'm just going
As
to
he
turn to the letter and say, this is normal. Just let her process.
as he comes to again and chuckles a little bit, says, "Don't worry, he's fine. He's not dead. Just relocated. He'd be alive, I think."
Punch
I
him in the
turn
face again. I'm trying to break his nose right now. I'm like, where's the cat? Break.
It
as Lara
does.
told me,
Is
this is
definitely
normal.
is definitely
I,
starting to accumulate quite a bit of damage as well. His jaw broken, his nose broken, a fair amount of blood starting to seep out of both his mouth and his nose as he's hit another time, with a bit more damage accumulating. But he does, after a few moments, groggily start to come to again.
I can keep this up all day. I intend to. Where is the cat?
He, the drow coughs and splutters out a little bit of blood.
I
Like I
point out this
said,
time I said that in uncommon.
he's not
Undercommon.
here. He's gone. But please, continue. Release me from this, and I'll be grateful. I would be quite grateful. But I think you might need me more than I need you. If you want your friend back, you can keep attacking. Perhaps I survive, perhaps I don't, but I will have claimed at least one of you, and you'll be none the wiser to what you're about to face.
I will turn
Kaylin.
to. Oh, go ahead.
Kaylin is very much having a moment and just says, "You're right. we probably do need you more than um you, you need us. So how about we change this whole situation? Forget the cat for the moment. What do you know of the black spider?
You see a wide grin part across his bleeding mouth as he chuckles. It's one of the misnomers that I've gone by. Unfortunate, but I don't think it's really fitting, but it's done for now.
Kaelin kind of looks over her shoulder at, I don't know, I would say Sterling in this case, but literally our main moral person is missing. Um, and like she is very much fighting the decision to jam a knife in this guy's face right now over the decision of getting Malexi's back. She's just going to nod gently and just, I understand you having multiple names. I have had many too. What is some others that you are called? Just for our notes.
Your notes. The Black Spider, or Nesna. Not that it matters a great deal. I had great expectations for you. I wanted
And what were those?
to strike an accord with you and your group, but it seems you're a little bit more headstrong than I anticipated. But should, yes, a trade of information perhaps. I can assure you that my freedom will work to your favor. You are about to face an onslaught of my brethren. As you should know, there's been a lot of activity over the last couple of months. More and more of my kind, as he levels his eyes towards Kalen, have been busy in this area. You should know that House Banray is coming for you. Coming for your cities, coming for your outstations. I was sent
Sorry,
here,
House of Benry?
Banray. For a drow, you don't seem very drow. You've lost
The
your way,
only
child.
signs the only signs of drow in my blood are my skin color and my ears.
Well, I am guessing you're going to get more acquainted with our culture very, very soon. You should understand that I was sent here specifically as a political move. I have no interest in how this game plays out. It's not necessary at all. But if you are to know, there is a team headed up specifically that I think will be interested in gaining access here that I think you should be aware of. Take this as a token of my goodwill. I will share this information for you, and I assure you, your friend is quite alive. Now, probably skirting the Underdark, but alive. I only chose the one of you that I think would probably best suit that environment. I was hoping that you'd see reason, but I can see now that that wasn't going to be the case.
How much, sorry, DM question.
Yeah,
How much of the Underdark and Drow would Kaylin really know? Because she doesn't know very much of her father's history.
you'd know that the Underdark definitely exists. You might know of areas that would lead to it, but you've never lived or never scouted through the Underdark in the past. And you'd have general knowledge about the Drow, but not so like an in-depth knowledge of what's going on.
I would know kind of like essentially all the stories that most people on top side would know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Fair enough. Okay.
So, So, my
Kaylin.
proposition to you:
Mhm.
work with me. All I want is to gain the favor of our matron mother. To get her to give up this foolish facade of coming topside. This isn't where we live. It's not what we were made for. Work with me. Help me usurp those that are coming for you. And help me get my favor back with the matron mother.
I make an
All
insight
drow are
check.
after one thing. Yeah.
Absolutely, Valletta, go for it.
Can Kaylin do the same?
Sure, both go for
Oh, damn
it.
Not
14.
much better.
As you're both very scrupulous with the way that you're addressing him, he seems battered. He doesn't have a lot of energy in him, and he seems to be telling the truth. It doesn't look like he would have a reason to lie about this.
The stories I've heard of drow mostly say that you're ambitious to do nothing but please your matron mother.
That's
Does it
correct.
to me this sounds like you're just trying to win her favor and get rid of rivals.
That's the Drow way. I wish to usurp those who think that this will be their proving ground, but if I can foil or remove, then I become in her good favors again, and I can let her know that this pursuit is foolish. I know that this pursuit is foolish, but if I am the only one left, then she has no chance. She has to listen to me.
Hmm. Did you land the killing blow on Thunderin? Thunderin? Thunder the gnome brother, the dwarf brother.
No,
Think
I said the
no.
right name.
You did.
I totally said the right name,
No,
Tish. I know
yeah,
it.
sorry, and I kept forgetting that this is actually Nundro, not Thornton.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I wasn't the first one into these caves. My rather brutish entourage were the first ones to come across the two brothers. It was my decision to spare this one, as he looks over towards Nundro, to ensure
Insight
that
check
he.
on that.
Yeah, go for it.
That specific thing.
Yeah,
It was. Oh, that wasn't very good. Never mind.
but he does seem extremely honest about it. So it was my staying hand that kept him alive. I just wanted to know what they knew. If I could go back to the matron mother with knowledge of this place, I will have fulfilled my duty, but I am more ambitious than that. So what say you? Work with me. Let me show you how to be a true drow.
Kaylin looks over her shoulder at everyone. Give us a minute to talk about it.
I'm not
And
going
she's gonna
anywhere.
like gather up with. She's gonna gather up with everyone, and so hopefully that he can't hear us. Yeah, we're totally out of earshot from him. Um, out here.
Hmm.
I don't care about knowing my heritage as a drow. All I want is Malexi's back. I'm more than happy to just kill this guy, but only once we have Malexi's.
I'm just gonna turn to Thurmond and say, Alexis is our friend. We're trying to find him.
he snuffles and nods.
Bear
Should
roleplay
we
for the
make a
win!
deal? Should we make a deal to find him? Say we're going to help him as long as we get Malexi's, and then
Are
deal
you
with
able to
the
keep him
other.
under control?
How many of us did it take to take him down? No. Only if we can keep him damaged so he can't use spells.
Shall we take his hands then?
I like that idea, actually.
Surely the tongue will suffice.
If he takes the tongue, he can't
Goodbye.
tell us where Malexi's is.
I love that the most evil comment comes from the cleric.
Just the fact that it just went up completely over Caleb's head. Like, we need him to tell us where Malexi's is. We need the tongue. But the hands can go. Like,
We could do a muzzle.
mm,
I
Gag
there's
might
we've
him.
got the
actually
equipment.
keep him gagged.
It's a bare minimum is gagged and bound. But I do believe removal of the hands will stop more creativeness from him.
Mm.
If you give me some time, I can prepare a spell that will compel truthfulness out of people. We
It's not,
could. Hmm.
it's not the
So
truthfulness
we,
I'm concerned about, it's him turning on us once more.
but if we can get the
Exactly.
truthfulness
Interrogate
spell
him.
going, and we can ask him the exact where is Malexi's, he will have no choice but to tell us the location, and we won't have to worry about taking him with us.
I do like this plan. The second plan that was popping into my head was basically taking as many limbs as possible and strapping him to the back of the bear.
That's a little
I,
unfair on the bear.
That'll work for like 1 more hour.
Yeah.
So
he
wait,
is indeed
what
a
does a drow
murderous
weigh?
criminal.
About as much as a human, I think. Or a little
So
bit lighter.
about 160?
About that.
160, 160 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah, sick. I can lift full 180. I can carry him even when I'm not there.
Cool. Um, Kaylin's just gonna just say that she is incredibly been made very incredibly uncomfortable by the comments of he can show the drow heritage, and she really does not want to be anywhere near him any longer.
Mm. And just before we head off as well, Valletta, what was your take on the scenario?
Well, I think it would be most reasonable to interrogate him with my spell and extract the true information that we require, and then there is nothing that we will need him for. We can simply dispose of him to the courts at the city, and they will trial him, and he will face his due punishment, rather than having to cart around a very dangerous prisoner or render him a stump.
It's how many days back to Neverwinter?
On usual, it would be 3 to 4 days on the road.
We'd still be carrying him for 3 to 4 days. And that's if we're going directly to Neverwinter and we don't run into any trouble. Like he said, there are orcs and everything on the roads. He could easily. There are a lot of spells that only require him to speak. And even if we have a gag, there's ways around that. I really don't want to be spending 3 to 4 days with this guy.
Keep him unconscious the whole time. Just keep punching him.
That would be very enjoyable.
Or I suppose what would his deal be? That we help him rise in the estimation of his matriarch? Is that the idea? The
He
alternative?
essentially he wants us to essentially help him clear out all of his rivals within the Underdark. That is what Drow do. They're taught that they must always do everything possible to please their matron, and they are more than happy to kill their own people and family sometimes as well.
Despicable.
You can understand why I don't want to go to my heritage.
All right. So, is the general consensus to travel with him for long enough to prepare a spell to extract the truth or ensure that the truth comes out of him? Or is it to more so damage and or maim? I guess in essence, are you looking to stay on here or move him to either Neverwinter or Fandalen?
We
How
could
close?
go with the. We could tie him back, put the bag back over his head, and gag him,
Hmm.
and keep him unconscious while we check out the forge. Or we can go back to Neverwinter first
At
and take
that,
him with us.
Gundren
Wasn't
will
the
pipe up as well and give an update on what's happened with the forge, um, shrugging his shoulders and just walking out. He's like, I kind of know how much longer this is going to take. I thought it would be taking days, and it's looking that way as well. Look, you go ahead. I'm going to be stuck with this for a while, but if you go to Fandalen, I can send Nundro up to tell you when it's open, and then play it by ear. We're not going anywhere, and I've got these two layabouts with me as well, as he looks over to Sterling and to Katana.
Do that
Come.
then.
I can prepare a spell that will allow long-range communication once per day or some such
Hmm.
with you, Gundren.
Oh, that'll work. Like a sending stone.
Yes.
Hmm. Can't remember where I put that one, but that'll work. And then we can just stay holed up in here.
Sounds
How
good.
far is Fandalen? And do they have the means to keep this wizard imprisoned?
Fan-
No. Fandalen
Fandalen's
is just.
very close, but the town centre's got a jail.
Kalen's gonna turn to Sterling. Would you prefer we take him straight to Neverwinter?
I'd imagine for Sterling, he would be very keen to get to Neverwinter first, but Fandalen's definitely going to be a good spot to resupply and recollect as well to get ready for getting back on the road.
Okay. Um, we have the jail in Fandalen, or we could lock him up in the old Red Brand Keep if we don't want him to be too close to the locals.
Good point.
we could wall him in down there.
All
Sound like a
right.
plan?
Yeah, is that what you guys
Are we
want to
gonna
do?
do the truth spell first?
I would need
How
a
long?
day. I
A
can do it
day?
tomorrow. I think
Okay.
um because tomorrow we can get all the information we want out of him, and then we can cart him to Phandalin, and I can use the other spell to communicate with my superiors in Neverwinter, and they can arrange his imprisonment. They can send someone to Phandalin to fetch him to Neverwinter, rather than us taking 8 days of our time just to transport him.
And send word for some of Sterling's old mates to be a part of said transport.
Mm.
Might be an
Yes,
idea.
sounds like the road is very dangerous. Hmm. So then I suppose all of us would then have to find Malaxes. Is that your friend's name?
Malexi's, but if the truth spell works, we should be able to get the exact location out of him pretty quickly.
Hmm. That's what I'm thinking. But we don't need him.
Yeah. Once we've got the spell, once we've got the location, and the people have come from Neverwinter to collect him, we can go looking for Alexis. As long as there's no way for him to send a message to other people to hurt Alexis.
I think that will work just fine.
Nice.
Okay, so it sounds like a plan.
All right. Don't mind me, I'm just messing around with something in the background here that seems to have stopped working. There we go, that looks like it's back. No, that's perfect. Okay, so sounding off is the plan to rest up here before trying the spell, or moving back to Fandalen to put the spell to use.
Rest up here and then do the spell and then go to Fandalen, was it?
Yes. Well, it doesn't really matter where we rest, I suppose, overnight, unless you think we can't get to Fandalen in a day. In
We
which case,
can. It's
what time of
just, do we want to do the spell here where we know he's trapped, or risk losing him before we do it?
Yeah, sure. We can rest here overnight.
Cool.
That bear noises that I can hear in the background. That's awesome. All right. So, if that's the work of order, I would say let's go ahead and rest up. Let's mark off a long rest and basically get ready to prepare for the next spell.
You had me concerned for half a second there. Your voice for have a long rest and roll for initiative is the same.
Yeah, I was hearing that too.
Oh dear.
Um, well, I got two questions for you then. One, like that'll definitely take me back out of wild shape. That's not really a
Yes.
question, actually. Two, what time is it?
Oh, at the moment, hard to tell. You know, I shall roll. It is just starting to come into evening now.
Okay, cool.
Did you roll a d12?
Yes, I did.
I love it.
Excellent. All right, so as you guys start to bed down for the evening, taking stock of what's gone on, getting to rest up and get ready to submit or initiate a spell to divine the truth out of this prisoner. Let's mark off that long rest. I shall shift the icon back for Thermand as he's out of wild shape. So just quickly flick those over and go ahead and mark off a long rest. It's time to recover some hit points and or spell slots. So as you guys have been resting over the last 8 hours or so, you kind of goes into the night. So it was about 6 p.m. when you started your rest. So waking up into the evening, Sterling and Katana kind of doing their rounds and doing what they need to secure the area, and the two dwarves continuing to work on the forge to try and get that moving. Let's move to the scenario where we're submitting this prisoner to compelling the truth. What's the spell that you've got in
Yeah,
mind,
You're
me,
cutting
Doctor?
out there for me,
me
Ken.
too.
Oh, sorry. Am I back? Ah, is that better? I shall just wait for a second and check my connection.
Damn weather.
You like
Yeah,
get dream.
Can
That's alright. It
DM.
looks like I've got really
Oh,
bad
I heard the
Yes.
connection.
compelling truth.
That's alright. I think my connection's just dying a little bit. Am I back? Oh, maybe not. I might have connection issues.
nope, he's
Uh-oh.
gone.
Um,
So if you want to take your
I'll be
5 minute
back soon.
break, now's probably a good chance.
I'm sure I'll be back
Yeah.
I
soon.
moved my Discord voice to back to my phone because my phone was having more issues. And my laptop was having issues.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
See,
just
I'm
keep
just waiting
talking.
for the internet to drop at home again.
Oh no. Alright.
You're sure you'll be oh no? Alright.
Spieling. I have good spieling.
Excuse.
Alright, I
Okay, were
should be
we
back.
having
I
a
should be
long
back.
rest?
Yes, that's a long rest. Oh, am I back
Okay.
yet? Hang on. I'm just going to disconnect and reconnect.
Okay, 10-minute break.
Okay.
And then jump back in.
Yeah, can we have a short break?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys can
Awesome.
hear me again now.
You're back.
Okay, there we go.
Can.
That was just the
Thanks, Tyler.
connection. Yeah, have a quick break. Get ready to submit this thing to a bit of truth.
Submit.
Are we marking a long rest off before?
Yeah, long rest to go.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
So you guys probably started your rest at about 6 p.m. So it's coming over into the evening that we're coming back to cast this spell and start submitting this drow to some truth.
Isn't it?
Awesome.
But how long is a long rest? That's 8 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 8 hours.
Would it be
So
like 2 in the
6
morning?
p.m. it'd be like,
It'd be well into the night, like 2 o'clock in the morning.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck. Sorry. Just a sec. I'm gonna be back. I just heard a crash. It's probably my peg basket. Give me a minute.
Oh damn. And at this point as well, Weasel would probably poof on out as well.
He's going to find that food that you guys put down from Alexis.
All right. But yeah, feel free to go grab a drink, all that stuff.
Mhm. No, I'm good. I'm actually prepared.
Nice.
Well, going downstairs is a bit of a mission. Let me see. Oh, did all three of the others go?
I think they did, yeah.
Ah, fair. Oh,
All...
sick. Thanks for getting all these loaded in too.
Ah, it's all good. It's all good. He'll
It's,
be interesting to play out. It's always good to see Rage and Reckless go into play, which is always nice.
shit. I forgot about Reckless, although I didn't get any chance to do it actually.
That's all right.
Oh,
Let's
just like
go back.
the disgusting amount of hit points as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Plus resistance, which is always nice.
Yeah, so even with like the bear is the lowest one I'm looking at using. If I go to hyena, you're looking at like 45, doubled with resistance unless
Mm,
you use psychic, so it's 180 for both wild shapes plus. Yeah, that's like it's about 300.
can work out pretty nice.
Yeah, or you use psychic and just fuck you right up.
Psychic's pretty rare. You don't come across it all that often.
Yeah, but that one time that we do, we're like, ah, the tank's
Like, no! Oh, god damn it.
like, ah, we needed him. Fuck.
Gigantic psychic damage. What the hell? Or I think always the bane of any barbarian is something that uses like a wisdom saving throw to basically make you turn against the party.
Nope. Druid got +3 to wisdom saves.
Oh, that's work. That's good. Excellent. Unless you get a bad roll, and then it's not so great for the
Well,
party.
yeah, that's true.
Then they're in trouble.
Nine.
God.
Yeah, they would be.
Sweet.
Is
Alright, I got all my ducks in a row. That's nice.
alright.
I love it. Someone's got these Christmas cards and it says, "A virgin getting pregnant I can believe, but 3 wise men?"
Now that sounds like a story.
No, the better one underneath is, "I was dreaming of a white Christmas, but if it runs out, I'll drink the red." That's for me. Apparently it's
retort.
like National Wino Day on Tuesday or something, and I'm like, yay, wine.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was
why
also
not?
Cheeseburger Day on Friday, so
I miss all the
Cheeseburger
fun
day.
holidays.
Jeez.
Every
yeah,
day is cheeseburger day.
$5 cheeseburgers.
Where?
Most cheeseburger places. Well,
What?
most burger places like Meat and Bun and all this. Do I need to start telling you these things again?
Like, I know the places you're about to tell me about. I just didn't know we had a $5 burger day going on.
It's once a year,
Well,
and it's a
fuck.
horrendous line, so I'm not sure if it's really worth it.
Oh
No, I'd
dear.
probably pay the extra to not be in that line.
Exactly.
Like, stand in line for an hour or pay $6 to skip it. Like, yeah, take my money.
That's basically my assessment. It's like I bought the mince and the cheese, and I made my own damn burgers at home.
Hell yeah.
Or, like, go sit across the road at the pub, order Uber Eats, and then just wait for someone else to stand in the line and get it for you.
Oh god.
Oh, that's just evil.
Well, Uber Eats, they get to skip it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
True. Don't know if it's available via Uber Eats, but it works.
Hmm. I'll have to try it out next year.
See what happens.
You're still gonna be here in a year.
At this rate, I'm not going anywhere.
You say that, but is like end of the year, like 3 years?
I mean, even with Melbourne, we're not even going to open up the fucking interstate borders until the end of the year.
Yeah, it's taken a while.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Well, WA's not opening up till what, mid next year at this rate?
WA's not opening up until the
Yeah.
others can report, like, is it 45 days of, like, no
I
community
think it's
transmission?
less.
Ooh, that's rough.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Good. It's good, but it's also bad.
Hmm.
I mean,
Mhm.
It's for a good reason, and it's. I agree with it, and I don't want you to not do it, but it's also kind of like,
well,
oh
they shouldn't
dear.
have fucked it up in the first place.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it gives me an excuse to not see my family for, like, an extra 12 months.
I'm trapped in the same state as mine.
Oh,
Oh no.
I love my family, but they're way better when they're over there.
What's it?
Uh,
I'm half house sitting. I'm looking after my parents' place for a month.
Oh, nice.
oh.
Wait,
Mm.
half house sitting.
Well, I'm not.
They
What are the plans?
All right, we're back. All right, guys, how do you wanna play this one out? He's well and truly bound, gagged, bag over head. He's not doing anything or going anywhere at the moment.
I feel like this
uh
is Valletta's show.
It is Valletta.
Oh
Valletta
my.
What would
and
you like
Caitlin.
to put into play?
Well, I shall um, go up to him and first uh, pull the bag off his head and goes and say, "Are you in need of any medical assistance at this time?"
He looks up and smiles curtly. You're definitely a more gracious host than I was. I would appreciate it, but I understand if you have any reservations about providing me assistance.
this is one smooth fucking bastard. Like I'm like, oh yo, I really want to hit you so bad right now.
I turn to Kaylin and Lara and all the other, and to back to the Black Spider and go, "I do things a little bit differently. It's true." And then my amulet will glow, and I will hold my hands like palm up to the sky and say, "In Ilmater's name, be healed," and use channel divinity on him
Oh,
just to
nice.
like miraculously heal his broken dislocated jaw from yesterday, no doubt, or whatever.
Nice. All right. So as you do so, you do see a physical change, like the angle of his jaw changes and his nose kind of pops back. It was caved in a little bit. It comes back into play, and the swelling around his eye subsides down, showing two very bright and sharp, red-tinged eyes, taking you into consideration and nodding curtly and very politely. I appreciate that. would imagine that currying favor is probably more in your wheelhouse, but definitely well noted. Thank you.
Oh,
Dude,
may have cut
just
off.
Oh,
God
okay.
damn it. Sound like you're on a roll.
That's all right. Hang on. I'll just kill this and jump back in. Hang on. How's that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
You
better.
just,
All right.
yeah,
I think it's just
currying
with me trying to do
favor
multiple
is more
things.
in your wheelhouse.
Yes, it says I can see that currying favor is more in your wheelhouse, but it's an interesting tactic, one that I've used in the past, but I
It really
appreciate
doesn't
it.
want him to finish that
I know,
sentence.
right?
It's too evil. It's too evil. Hang on, I'm going to drop and
Take a
reconnect
card
again.
block off.
All right,
Oh,
hopefully I'm back now. I just dropped and came back on. Hopefully that's a better connection. Oh,
What was that?
What?
I can't hear anything.
oh, that's all right. Now I can hear you guys. Am I back now?
Okay,
Yeah, you're all good.
I
yes.
can
Okay,
hear you.
there we go. I won't even see the wheelhouse thing. It's a tactic that I've used before, and it's had mixed results, but I appreciate it. Oh no, it's still cutting in and out, isn't it? Damn. I swear my
Hey, sweet.
But
connection's
I
it
can
is
still
hear me
there.
fine,
now.
just to be
Yeah,
sure.
for like a few seconds there.
Oh damn. Am I back again? It seems to have dropped. Yet
Yeah, yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Alright. He basically says, thanks for the heal.
Yeah.
Aww.
Cheers, mate. That was great.
You just Australianized the monologue.
Yes, I did. No, he makes note of some. It's a tactic that I've used before, but not with great effect. But I appreciate it.
You are most welcome.
So, what do you have
I
in
much
store for me
prefer
now?
the work of healing than the doing of violence. Oh, did you manage to hear me?
I did, yes.
No. Uh, then she'll continue. But you misunderstand. I am not bribing you with healing or attempting to curry your favor. My happiness to fix a dislocated jaw today will mean very little next to the eternal damnation that surely awaits you if you refuse to redeem yourself, good sir.
Oh, damn.
Redemption is always in the eye of the beholder. What you might see as evil is necessity on my part. Understand that only the strong survive. The weak are always left in the wake of the strong. Redemption is purely survival.
Tired truism, brought out by every evil man and woman in history. I am not impressed.
And nor would I expect you to be. I think I have the measure of your character. I applaud you for what you are and what you stand for. But when it comes to dealing with my brethren, you may have to abandon such ideas, such ideals, for evil is to be thwarted, is it not?
When we have no other recourse, then yes, evil must be resisted by force if all other means of resistance prove futile. Nonetheless, I am more than happy to bandy words with you in the hopes that we can find a better arrangement.
Oh, we're already in agreement. We are of the same ilk. We just come from different directions.
Hmm, perhaps it gives you some comfort to think that, but I think by my actions, something else will be proven. I mean, you speak of evil being the normal state of affairs. And yesterday, when your jaw that I just healed was being dislocated, I was told that this was normal behavior by my companion. And as you attempted to seduce Kaylin by a return to her
Oh no!
the normal state of affairs for drow culture is assassination and political intrigue. mixed with deceit and foul sorcery and foul play. But you know what? In every era and in every culture, they have their own rules and their own normal state of affairs. There is no such thing as normal, but there is truth and there is right. And so I come to you with a suggestion. I can prepare a spell and through Ilmater's influence compel you to tell the truth. I suggest that you do not attempt to resist this spell and instead cooperate with us. I would be inclined to hope that you would be honest with your dealings, of course, but since you attempted to kill us multiple times, you can understand my hesitation. This spell is simply our insurance. I wish to converse with you, but I want to make sure that you cannot deceive me.
That's understandable and admirable. I've been honest with you. Yes, I sought your demise. I sought the death of those that stand around you. But if there were anything less and hadn't achieved survival, then they'd be useless to me. For the task that I have in front of them is going to require a great deal of strength. I understand. I absolutely understand why you would want to kill me too, and that's only natural. But please, I am being honest with you. You need me and I need you. We have a vested interest in each other. So please, if it does elude your suspicion, if I was in your position, I would use any means to discern the truth, whether that was violence or magic.
Hmm.
Can I insight check this motherfucker?
You can, absolutely.
I want to know what, like, I want to know if he's got an ulterior motive to saying go ahead with this. No, I don't know.
He is
I am too emotional
he
right
has
now.
got honey dribbling into your ear at the moment. But it's hard to tell. It is very hard to tell if he's lying or if he's being completely honest. What would you like to do next?
I'm just gonna motion to Valletta. You go ahead with whatever you wish.
The
Very well then.
the drow that is now known as the Black Spider or Nesnar, um, nods to Valletta. Please, I take no offense. I don't resist. Please, do what you must. Find the peace of mind you require, and I will give you the information and or give you the reason to work alongside with me in this case.
Very well. Then she will close her eyes in prayer, and her neck, her amulet will glow red, and she will say, I appeal to you, Ilmater. In the presence of your inquisitor and servant, let no lie be uttered. And I'll fill the room with like a red light.
Nice. All right. What are you casting? What are you utilizing? Ah, Zone of Truth. Very good. Smell for the first time. Okay. And what is your DC for that as well? Out of
My,
curiosity.
I think 15,
Okay.
but he can choose to fail.
Okay. All right. As the as the spell takes effect, it seems to just wash over him. He seems to draw it in and welcome the enchantment as it comes into play. He seems well and truly under the sway of Zone of Truth. What would you like to what would you like to ask him?
I turn to my companions and just say, ladies,
We did not find him in the cavern, obviously.
He's not in the cavern. I can share with you very freely. You need only ask. It was a scroll of teleportation. He's in the Underdark now. Not far from here, but underneath here. An area called South Crypt.
Exact.
That's my base of
Exactly.
operations. That's where I work from. South Crypt. He's close to
South
there.
Crypt.
He wouldn't find a lot of problems there. It's not a stronghold. It's not a place of ill will, except for the wildlife, but I suspect for one of his kin, he'll survive just fine.
And what benefit, besides acquiring our companion back, would we gain from helping you? And before you mention my heritage, I honestly don't give two rats rubies about it.
That's not a problem, and I can honestly say I don't care about your heritage either.
And
If
what would we gain?
you keep me alive, you'll find your friend. And if you keep me alive, you might just survive what is coming in your direction. You by now would have
And
been
what is coming?
possibly aware of my kin that are advancing on this land, their armies coming with them. You have two problems, two very pertinent problems in two of my kin that are coming for you. One, a priestess by the name of Imrus. Even in my coven, she is something wicked. She is perturbed and moved away from Lolth and has embraced something far darker, something far more infernal. She is truly twisted, and if you have any chance of defeating her, you're going to need my help. As well as her partner, another Inquisitor, as he looks over to Valletta. Malice is her name. But you'll possibly, if not already, will very soon become very much aware of a patron or someone who's helping them. Not far from where I herald, there are lands that are wreaked by flame, elementals, and death incarnate itself. They seem to have made a pact with a rather ancient dragon. I don't know how. I applaud whoever has. But if you want any chance of being able to overcome any of these foes, you are going to need me.
And how can we guarantee that the moment we set you free, you won't just kill us all? Or attempt to, at the very least.
There is no guarantee. Be strong, strong enough that I can't kill you. That's your guarantee.
A very drow comment to make. Hmm. And besides pleasing your matron, what benefit do you get out of us helping you remove these issues?
My station ascends. I am that much closer to the matron mother. Two major rivals wiped out. I will sit far above them. For me, I will gain new power in the seat of my wanting. This is what I get out of it. This is my part of the bargain. This is what I will get out of it. If you destroy them, then my power flourishes in a place that you will never even step foot.
And that power will not ever seep onto the above lands?
I'm not interested in your lands. The darkness is where I live. Up here is pedestrian.
His bubbles have already
Hmm.
seeped into our lands.
They have. I suspect that since you know we have been on your trail for a while, you know of the dragon that attacked us back at Cragmore.
I expected as much. It has a name, one that hasn't been uttered for a very, very long time, but I think you would call it Doom Wing.
And this is their patron, or is this just another of his followers?
Oh no, I believe that this thing is a being unto itself. As to how they've managed to get this thing to work alongside them, I do not know. It's outside of my knowledge. But in the past, if I was to try and approach something like Doom Wing, I would die very quickly. So I'm curious as to what has been put in place. If there was a tether, if there was a spell or relic that was responsible for this. Perhaps we could discover a way to break that.
Hmm. You speak a lot of honeyed words,
You have
and to
no idea.
I have not long been in this life of adventuring. I myself have mostly spent my life acquiring artifacts for those who request them. Somehow, through familial connections, I have been dragged into this. Unfortunately, those connections have led to another connection that I now risk such an alliance.
If you
What
don't
could you say to
risk
me?
anything, you'll never attain anything of worth.
Hmm, other than that darling little quote, what could you say to me, provide to me, essentially convince me not just to abandon all of this and go about my merry way, slit your throat, and not care?
That would be an easy way out, but ultimately, your demise. You need to be smarter than that. You need to look beyond here and now. You have House Banray bearing down on you. You have drow, goblin, orc, and a dragon descending upon you. Are you going to survive on your own? Are you going to bandy together and defeat an army? All of you? You're only individuals. What you can do will make a difference on a small scale. But without that being directed in the right way, your lives are already forfeit. Kill me and you will kill yourself.
How long until their first major attack? And where?
It's already here.
Sorry, I missed that. What?
It's already here.
Does anyone else have any questions?
How to get to the Underdark?
Did I miss out on any good loot in the dungeon? I've only seen like a small part of it.
How to
But
get
for
to
this
the
guy,
Underdark?
this guy, no.
It's not difficult. If you were to head, I would imagine maybe to the south of the Sword Mountains, you might be able to find passage. But again, if you were to survive, I would suggest maybe taking a real drow down there with you as your guide.
You can punch him for that if you
Okay.
want, Kayla.
No. I have much more stronger connections than to a father who was never here, than a simple bit of genetic.
If I might suggest, if your friend is truly what you seek, bring back into my possession a scroll of teleportation, and I can reenact the rite to send us either to his location or one of you to his location and perhaps bandy back a one for one to try and get back to the location. He has probably moved on, but this could be an efficient way if you have the means to get a hold of such an artifact.
Did we find one in uh I can't even remember his name. The wizard I stole the stuff from. Thingy my Bobby?
Don't think teleportation has come up
Did we find
yet.
Nah, we haven't found anything to do with teleportation yet.
Okay. If we were to consider this, we'd have to go back to Neverwinter to go shopping.
Perhaps,
Shopping
or
episode.
if we happened
And
across something along the way, I could help.
and then we'd have to go back to Thunder Tree on the way to grab the rest of our shit, which may or may not be there.
I've never met your friend, but this drow seems to be talking you guys around to his way very, very slowly and subtly. We've gone
Not
from
subtly.
removing his tongue and hands to taking him with us.
It's not subtle.
It
I know what
depends
he's
if you want to
doing.
survive or not. Look at it this way,
So
we
far, he's
have
under the zone of
shared
truth. He has
enemies.
not been able to lie.
As they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That would make us friends. That he just smiles mockingly over to Thurmand.
Nondra. Nondra as well. How do you feel about
The
us
Roman just
keeping him alive?
hefts his axe that's like the size of the drow.
It is large. Nundro looks to Valletta and again just nods in her direction. If I've learnt anything from you, it's that if I'm to harbour ill will towards this thing, then I'll never get past my brother's death. He's yours. You caught him. You saved me. I'm in debt to you for my life. Your decisions, your choice are yours alone. I won't stop you.
Gundren?
Gundren's busy with the door. But he
Okay,
would.
so he's not hearing any of this. Okay.
I think the final question now is, do we really need him, or can we just kill and leave him here? Because he has told us the at least general vicinity in which we can find Malexis. And we do already know this attack he speaks of, because, well, we were chased by a dragon.
You were chased by a dragon? Fuck.
We were. It was not
But it sounds
enjoyable.
like,
We are gonna have to sit down for a beer.
yeah, it sounds like this dragon is not the one that is causing the issues. The one that chased us. It sounds like the one that chased us might be just a friend of that one, or under its sway.
That sounds like a problem. Two dragons? What have you guys been doing?
Killing dragons
And goblins, and orcs, and
and
bugbears,
bugbears,
and drow, and it's
ogres,
been a hell of a couple of weeks.
woodland creatures. There was a lot of spiders there at one point.
Wow.
It's a long couple of weeks. It's a very long couple of weeks.
like, like, as a druid, I'm just like edging a little bit away from all of you. Like now, I'm a little unnerved because you know I've been a lot of those things you're just mentioning.
Oh dear. So the drow just sits back, his head back against the wall. As he looks to Kalen and looks to Valletta. Said, well, I've said my part. What say you? You seem intent on either striking up our accord and having me assist you with a shared interest, or
And just looks.
slitting my throat and condemning yourselves. But I'm at your mercy.
I just stuck the gag in his mouth so he can't talk and put the bag over his head.
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me? Probably not. I can hear.
Hello.
So,
Well, I will
Valletta.
just nod to the dwarf who said, that he'll respect our decision and he won't hold a grudge, or rather, he will surrender the drow to us rather than seek revenge. I will say, that is very good of you. You see, some people are capable of learning. As I say pointedly to the drow. And please, it is my. You don't owe me any debt. If you do feel that you owe me something, then I encourage you to pay it forward to others. And then I will turn to Kaylin, and I will. And then she will sort of narrow her eyes, and Kaylin will come under the effects of the zone of truth, although she can choose to resist it. So she'll have to make a DC check, or she can just accept it.
Nice.
What's the DC? Just to double like.
It was
I think it's a
15, was it?
15.
What? Sorry, 15. What check?
Charisma.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Ooh. She does not resist.
It's kind of more of a
Almost resist.
tentative acceptance. Like it's kind of like, oh, should I? And then I just allow it to go.
I apologize for the impoliteness, but you said you were tasked with acquiring items for other people on commission. Was this some kind of historical or archaeological venture, or?
No, not in the slightest. I was taken in by my two adopted fathers, and their occupation I took up myself.
So you were not pressured into becoming a retriever of items.
Not pressured in the sense of I do I don't want to do it. More in a these people raised me and took care of me. After I was left on my own, they became my family. Mind you, like all some families, They aren't always loyal. I say sadly.
I'm sorry to hear that. I was adopted by the clergy as a child myself, and who knows what would have become of me had I not been taken care of and educated and taught in the ways of Ilmater. So I'm hardly going to judge. But I'm just curious, have you left that life of crime behind?
Kalen has a small smile. It is not that I have left the life of crime behind. It is more that I have been forced to reevaluate what life I choose to live.
That is all anyone can do.
It is
Perhaps we.
not a promise. I do like shiny things.
Well, perhaps we will be able to continue each other, and who knows what will come uh, as we continue on this journey together. Well, now, shall. I am inclined, a part of me rather, is inclined to use my next spell to contact the authorities in Neverwinter, as I said yesterday, and arrange for his transport from Phandalin to Neverwinter so that he may be tried for his crimes. But if you believe that he is integral to rescuing your friend, I would rather risk a guilty person escaping than diminishing the chances that we rescue an innocent one. That is my opinion.
I agree. We do need to go back to both Thundertree and Neverwinter before we proceed with anything further in order to get a teleportation scroll in the first place. I can at least find contacts there who will, even if we cannot buy one, at least might have some information on how to acquire one, even if it is not in the most legal way.
I feel
I
like
say quite
leaving him the chance
pointedly.
to escape is unacceptable. He's caused so much harm and damage that we need to ensure that he doesn't get free.
Well, again, we could just cut off his hands, I say
No,
loudly.
I've got a big axe. We could take his legs too.
Does he react, like, at all?
Hey, he's got a bag over his head. You can't see any reactions coming from him at all.
He doesn't make, like, an uncomfortable squirm or anything?
No, he's dead quiet.
Calculating. Okay. Sterling, you're rather quiet. Could we have your morals today,
I think
please?
his standpoint was to make sure that he ends up in the hands of the authorities in Neverwinter from previous sessions. So I think he'd
Oh,
be torn between using the information or turning him over straight away to Neverwinter.
I don't mind if he ends up in the hands of the authorities, but
Can't risk.
diminishing the threat that he could be is quite a strong incentive. Like, we have him now. How strong? Well, how hard was it for you guys to take him down in the first place? How
Well,
much damage did he cause before that?
once we defeated the Hydra that he summoned, to be fair, it wasn't that hard. Dude was running.
He was capable of invisibility, though, in our last fight. He could try and make a break for it. Not that I think he
But,
will, I'm just saying it's possible.
And what were the names of your friends that were killed?
sorry,
Was it Nundru? Gundren?
Thermand.
Thundru.
Thundra.
Thur- mm,
He was one of the dwarf's brothers. He,
no, it's up to you guys. I would just prefer to mitigate the risk of that happening again.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from. An alternative is perhaps I include in my message that we need a scroll of teleportation. It's possible the authorities of Neverwinter could find one and bring one to us as they go to Phandalin. But
Hmm.
we need his help to use that scroll to get to where Malexes is.
Give me a sec. Hold on, I need to
Acceptable.
double check that. Hold on. Let me just double check that. Hold on.
Casting things definitely
Before I say
require.
anything.
They definitely require interaction.
So long as he stays within strong custody, I would find that acceptable.
Um, teleportation scroll. It'd be similar to a circle, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
If it's a scroll, would it require the same level?
Potentially, yes.
Um, sorry, I'm just double checking ability and the spell itself. Um,
Well, make an Arcana check. What are you trying to discern from the spell?
uh, would I have to have been to the location previously? And would I have the ability to
You would,
cast it?
yeah, and you nail it with that. You would know with a teleportation spell, you would have to be aware of the area. If it was a teleportation circle, you would have to know the location of and remember the runes that depict around the circle as well. Think of it as like understanding the postcode of the place that you're going to.
Unfortunately, I would not be able to assist in that. I've never been to the Underdark. Otherwise, I would say, let's just do it ourselves. I will soon have the ability to cast such a spell.
Hmm.
So we can trust him or wait until you have the power to do it yourself.
Even once she has the
Uh,
power to do it, she doesn't know the location. She's never
the
seen
location.
the circle that is in South Crypt.
Hmm.
No.
But we wouldn't be
We
in
need
his
him to
power. We
take
could
us.
find a guide that, isn't or hasn't tried to murder the lot of you before.
We
You haven't been to
Is
the
he still
Underdark yet, have you?
under. Yeah.
No, I live in
Has
the forest.
he. Is he still under the zone of truth?
I'd say yes. I would say yes.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly lift the hood and remove the gag. You could hear us talking.
I could hear you.
We're trying to just. Yes, we're trying to decide whether or not to accept a thing. Is there any other entry to the Underdark very close to the South Crypt or the South
Not
Crypt?
close. You could try heading northeast of the Neverwinter Woods, but it will take you weeks to head south underground to South Crypt. Trying to head or find a breach at the foothold of the Sword Mountains. This could still take another week or two, but it would be a much smaller endeavor. But if you truly want to get there quickly, and if you want to get to your friend before he wanders too far, I would suggest teleportation.
I put the gag back in his mouth and the bag back over his head.
Okay.
Hold up. Before you do that, where is this entrance in the Sword Mountains?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because mm,
Okay.
because
And
I'm
I'm just gonna.
very familiar with that area.
Yes, you would be very familiar with that area. You don't know of anything that seems to breach through to the Underdark. You do know that there are a lot of cavernous networks that do rifle through the Sword Mountains, but a lot of them are very dangerous. It wouldn't be an easy undertaking to go down, and somewhere that your tribe wouldn't really tread on often occasion.
Mm.
And to be fair, he's not really giving us much choice at this point.
I feel like that was deliberate.
It was.
No. So yeah, what would you like to do? I know we're stuck with the conundrum of do we trust this person? Do we make a temporary alliance? Do we keep him sort of like in the back pocket, but well shackled, or hand him straight over to the authorities and try and find another way? But he does seem to have the most direct route of getting back to Malexi's. And do you want to take him off to Fandalen, or does Valletta want to send her message now through to who she knows over in Neverwinter?
So, just quick question: Wave Echo, is it within the Sword Mountains?
It's at the base of the Sword Mountains. It's very, very close. We'll see when we transition, when we start heading back to Fandalen. I'll bring up the map. But basically, Wave Echo Cave, I'm just looking at it now, is literally at the base of the Sword Mountains. It's very, very close.
Mm. Could we go check with one of the elders of my tribe to see if they know anything?
Could very much do so.
Also, we could just take him with us since he's a massive threat to the area, and then my tribe can deal with him.
You do note that your tribe is a fair distance away. You do know that getting to your tribe, there are two ways. One is to head north through the foothills and kind of loop back around and make the northern ascent towards Ice Spire Peak, but that will take weeks. Or over the course of a couple of days, you could go for the southern approach, which is the approach that's called the Fang. It's a bit of a climb. It's a lot more dangerous, but it's a lot quicker as well.
At this point, Kaylin just shrugs, hands up, like, I.
Well, if we get him to my tribe, I can guarantee that he will be secured.
Either
We could
way, at
ask the
this
elders if
point,
they have any knowledge of the entrance that he was speaking of in the peaks.
either way, at this point, it is numerous days' travel,
What
even
can
to get a
we use?
teleportation scout.
Do we have a scroll of teleportation? We do have one, right? On us? Or
No, there is
No, we
No.
no
don't.
scrolls. Um, there are none at the moment.
so the idea is that we would still have to get one and then the black spider would use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
either way, at this
Well,
stage, we've got days before we can even get down to the Underdark to find
yes.
Malexi's. What? Hang on. Your sending spell, Valletta. How
Yeah.
familiar do you have to be with the person?
Fairly familiar.
So us describing Malexi's to you, that glimpse you got of him, is
I
that
don't think
enough?
I don't think that will work. I think I do have to know the person so that Ilmater can bridge our connection.
That would be a tricky
Damn.
one. I would say not just yet. That connection wouldn't exist just yet.
Damn. Okay. If we could have sent him a message to not mess around and stay put, we're coming, that would help.
Yeah.
What about you, Black Spider? Are you capable of using the spell?
I'm guessing the bag's coming off. So as he looks up, he smiles and said, "Not something that I'm familiar with. I've got the ability to arm myself with aggressive magics, but it's more trickery and deception than it is anything else. I can't reach out to him with any such magic unless you have a scroll or it's something that you understand, maybe you could teach me.
Hmm. I'm not sure an arcanist can learn a divine spell and vice versa.
That's true. Unless I could look over the workings of this spell, I'm not sure if I'd be able to learn it.
Jill,
Is there anyone in Neverwinter who would be familiar with Malexes and would be able to cast the spell?
Potentially, yes. Other members of his ilk or of his, was it the Oath of Conquest that Malexis was covering?
sorry, yes, it was.
Yeah. So he would be able to find someone that he'd be able to possibly commune with that would know him.
Or I could ask my, is there a more powerful cleric that I know? Because then they could simply cast Scry on Malexes and then cast
Mm.
send to him, or even try to ascertain his location from
I would
Scry.
I would say with your connections in Neverwinter, you would be able to find someone that would be able to do that.
That would be preferable.
Well, we've been almost guaranteed that Malexis would be able to look after himself in the area that he's in, so we can trust his abilities and not trust our own safety to the spider.
In that case, may I have a word privately, everyone? And then I go outside.
Mm,
Um, and then we'll so that the spider can't hear us.
Ah, sure, I'll join.
All right.
So given that we have connections now to other um, spellcasters, I think that actually maybe we don't need the spider since he can't furnish us with teleportation anyway. We'll have to find the scroll ourselves. I can send a message to multiple people in a single day. I can try to get my high priest to contact the authorities and warn them of this army and request that they send that patrol up to retrieve the spider from Fandolin for proper imprisoning, and at the same time to bring us a scroll of teleportation. And then, or maybe I can break this up over two messages to furnish us with a scroll of teleportation that we will then compel the spider to use to send us to Malek's location. Or failing that, that at least my high priest might be able to the church may be able to scry Malexi's location, assuming there's no interference, and then either find him that way or at very least communicate with him.
Okay. In that option, would we need to take him through the teleportation scroll to us to guarantee he doesn't drop us in a random location? Or can we get him to cast it and let us go through without him?
Push him through first.
And we will be stuck there with him, and he won't be
Yes.
able to.
The other option is that the moment we get through the scroll, we stab the living
I was
life
gonna
out
say,
of
yeah,
him.
push him through first, walk through, decapitate him, and keep going.
I mean, if he believes that we're just going to toss him to prison, he may just use the scroll to try and teleport himself away. But then again, we have Zone of Truth. We can force him to cooperate and try to persuade him to see reason that there is simply no way he will be manipulating us into killing his rivals for him, and that imprisonment is his best shot.
We could just simply tell him that we are requesting a scroll of teleportation to be sent to us. We don't need to tell him that we've told them about him. We can say that we're going with him and we want him to take us. In most part, we can be as truthful as possible to him without telling him the plan. We can essentially make it seem as if we're actually going with him.
That's pretty cool. You're starting to think like a drow.
Ouch!
problem is, at the point of him using the scroll, he will either come with us or
Yes.
try to escape. The only
The only question, Valletta, is the idea is that he comes with us through to ensure that we're going to the South Crypt, and we dispose of him there.
I
Kaelin
am
says very gently, knowing that it might not be the most likable option for Valletta, like, because that way it guarantees that he's taking us there. It just means we can't take him to the authorities.
I would prefer that he goes to the authorities, but if we're going to do this, should he try to escape, I will do my best to kill him.
well.
We could still do this for him. Go with him to South Crypt, find Malexi's, even deal with these rivals of his. Just ensure that we bring him back for the authorities. We can tell the authorities this, that we're taking him with us to deal with a problem. A greater problem. So we're taking him essentially for the greater good.
And then try to apprehend him again at the end.
Yes. If he thinks we're friends at that point, or at least very least allies, he hopefully will not turn on us the moment we deal with the overlying issue.
Does that seem likely for a drow?
It is very likely for a drow. They've been very well known to kill their own family members.
That's what I mean. Would he trust us so far as to not betray us as soon as he thinks that we've outlived our usefulness?
No,
Then that is
that is
a
what I mean.
very poor choice of action. He might think of us as allies, and then we're done being useful, and then why would he leave us as a threat?
Well, he wouldn't. That is what I'm saying. We do the exact same. We treat him as an ally, and the moment his usefulness is done, we make sure that we recapture him and turn him over to the authorities. Preferably murder would be my preference, but we've not got many options here. That went very dark very quickly.
Oh yeah, it's kind of what's intended. I like it.
Well, we're just skirting the line of does he stop finding us useful before we stop finding him useful, or the other way around? Who tries to kill the other one first?
I believe he would attempt to kill us the moment both his rivals are guaranteed to be gone.
I feel like you've already put him down once. He's already going to see you as rivals. If he gets the chance to, he'll stop you from doing it again.
Doesn't necessarily have to be me. I
Oh
say
no.
quite pointedly, looking at the letter. Like, hmm?
Oh, certainly he must face justice. And if he betrays us, I will have to mete that out in a coarse way, if necessary.
Nice.
Right.
I
I
would prefer
still
not to
like.
lie or murder, though.
I
Well, we're
still
not lying.
I will agree with Valletta, and we've reached. Oh, I'll reach out a call with Valletta and follow her guidance.
We would not be lying. We would not be murdering. We just would not be telling him we have advised the authorities that we're taking him with us.
We'll just be
And we
lying
would
out of
not
a
be
mission
telling
and then
him that we
killing in
intend to take him at the
self-defense.
end. We won't kill him at the end.
So, lying of a mission and murder by self-defense. Go.
Well, I won't. Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
good.
That is
We're
exactly
good
it.
by technicality.
Technicality.
Well,
I look at
alright.
the letter and go, is that acceptable? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be murder at the end. We can apprehend him, but if he tries to get away, what must be done must be done.
Just attitude. Yeah,
I'm
it's like it can be murder if it has to be. That is fine.
It's not really murder if we're dealing justice.
Yeah.
I do not feel comfortable with making a lie of a mission. I would like to try and persuade him that if he is to redeem himself, helping us stop this threat will go a long way to achieving that.
Oh,
I
yes.
Right. I will support that.
perhaps
Yes, that makes sense.
give me, shall we say, an hour, and we can re-adjourn and tell him the plan. I will let you know if I am on board, but your plan is an intelligent one. Just let me
Thank you.
pray for some guidance, and when I return, I will send the necessary messages.
Okay. Agree, everyone?
Yeah. Like I said, I will accede to Valletta's decision on this one.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Well,
Can
like
I?
you run into a battle without any prompting to defend me, so like, yep, cool. Like I like you. Let's fucking
Nice. Fantastic.
like we both seem to be on the same page of like this guy needs to either die or be in custody.
Yeah.
You won me over. I'm like, yep, cool. Like I'm gonna let you lead the way on this one.
Lara?
Very
Can I have
nice.
a quick recap?
Okay, so the plan is
Yep.
that Valletta is going to have a talk with the spider, advise him that we're going to acquire a teleportation scroll. We're going to go have him take us to South Crypt. We are going to help him defeat his rivals, but in doing so, he must be willing to give himself up at the end.
Okay.
We could make it a condition that I remove his
Okay?
legs before we start.
You want to carry him the whole way?
I mean, how much does he weigh? We could just strap him.
160. We went through that.
Yeah, cool. I can carry 480. Like
I think you can
it's
just
like
back
I'm
carry
wearing
a
a.
bugbear.
Oh, if I take the back. Sorry, if we take his legs off, he's down to like 110. So that's like a particularly sturdy backpack.
Before Valletta goes in and talks to him, is it okay if I go in very nicely? I will not be horrible. To talk to him on my own?
I'm sure that'll be fine. Valletta will excuse herself and go to a quiet spot by herself and pray. So you can do whatever you want, really.
Okay.
Thormod will take
Well,
Valetta's suggestion on that one and wander away, give you some privacy.
okay. Kalen's gonna go in and ask Nundro to go into the other room,
All right.
and
Nundro
I will not kill him, I promise.
Nundro he moves back. He leaves you alone with him. And he's still there. He's still ungagged and bound and looks up. Well, have you decided my fate yet? Am I dying today, tomorrow, or in a few years' time?
At this stage, it is up to my party. However, personally, right at this moment, there's nothing more that I want than to get our friend back, even if it means allying with someone I do not necessarily like. I am happy to do so.
For now, our
Between
needs
the t-
align, I understand. You help me,
bet-
I'll help you.
between the two of us, what can you promise me personally to convince me that you might be more an ally that I do not want to lose Ignore the rivals, ignore the certain doom upon my whole land. Me personally, what could you promise me to ensure I am loyal to you?
I don't expect your loyalty. If I move you to a position that you feel like you want to fetch your loyalty to me, then fair enough. But perhaps I can offer you this. Your eyes have never truly seen into the dark. Come with me to the Underdark. Let me show you what you are. Have a look into your heritage, into your blood. I can see it in your eye already that you, just like me, crave power. Might be power in a different way, but I know the arcane ways. You have a natural affinity, I can see that. If you are so curious, then come and see what is in the Underdark. You might be surprised. It might not be for you, but come with me. If you want to find your friend, come down there with me. Let me show you. Be objective, be subjective. Don't take my word for it, but if I can show you the power that you quintessentially seek, I may show you a different vein that you've never found before. The choice is yours, though.
Convince my friends that you will do as they ask.
I will convince your
Even
friends
if it
that
is lie,
yeah,
and
lying is such a crass way of showing it. We'll be aligned for as
convince them.
long as that we both or all have a shared interest. At the end, I will go about my way and back to my station, and you can continue to do whatever it is that you Upworlders do up here. That doesn't interest me, but if you're interested in learning our ways, join me in my station. Explore House Banry, stand next to me, and let me present you to the matron mother. Perhaps you might find more power there than you'll ever find up here.
In front of my friends, I will pretend that I want nothing more than to kill you. But outside of that, we have a deal.
Understood. An
Kalen
alliance.
walks out the room.
For now.
Kalen walks out the room and kind of just walks into another hall and just stays quiet for a while and leaves the rest to everyone else.
Alright. Nicely done. What would you guys like to do next?
I would like to pray for Ilmater on the off chance that I can get like a direct sign or indication of his will. I would just like to say that, you know, although I am sort of a questing servant of a god,
Mm,
the party is contemplating a lie of a mission, but for the purposes of rescuing an innocent person who has been kidnapped,
yes.
teleported away, and I am still committed to trying to redeem this drow, but I am unsure if he can be trusted, and that it may come to blows at the end.
Hmm.
So I am just if this course of action particularly displeases Ilmater, I would like a sign.
Alright.
Otherwise, I would, although have my reservations, I will go along.
Alright, I'm going to roll for this and see what comes out of it. I have an idea of the different outcomes. Ilmater comes to you in a vision as you sit and pray, opening yourself up to the divine influence of Ilmater. And as you see Ilmater step forward towards you, the light shining bright from behind his form, his hands bound but coming apart, he holds his hands up and kind of holds them out to either side, representing a balance, a balancing scale. On one side ignites light and on the other dark. And as he stands there, his arms are perfectly balanced. He looks in your direction and nods, and the vision ends.
I will give thanks and then like heave a small sigh of relief to myself that I haven't,
He's
been seduced
definitely
by
he's
darkness.
not.
Essentially.
He's definitely the feeling that you get is that you haven't been subdued by darkness. You haven't done anything to ire or irk or anger Ilmater. Ilmater has just kind of shown a representation of balance, showing light on one side and dark on the other. Um, Interpret as you will.
My instincts suggested the same, but hopefully he will see reason.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Difficult choice. What would you guys like to do next?
So look, I've decided that this black spider is a significant risk to at least a local, if not like a larger area.
Mhm.
I'll compose a message to my tribe, regardless of what we've decided here, just to let them know what's going on, and pull another little fuzzy ball out of my bag and strap it onto it.
Okay. The creature that you pull out, it won't be enough to get up there on its own. To
Nope.
relay a message up to the tribe, you'll have to make the ascent.
Hmm. Damn. All right. Can't think of a way around that one.
Mhm.
I'll compose the message anyway, so I have it ready to go, just in case.
All right. Good. Alrighty. So with everything kind of resolved at Wave Echo Cave, what do you want to do with this drow? Keep them incarcerated? He's sitting quite freely with the bag and the ball gag out at the moment.
Oh, I should have said I put that back on as I left the room.
Oh, okay. He
At very least, the
shrugs.
gag back on so he
Yeah,
can't talk.
yeah. Very good. And with that, he's nonchalant about it. But yeah, what do you? Is it time to start heading towards Fandalen, or does Valletta want to send word through to Neverwinter?
I'd like to
Do we want to?
reconvene the party privately and say, my lord has given his assent to your plan. We will say to him, we will say to the drow that we are simply acquiring a scroll. But at the same time, I will make it clear to the drow that I at least intend to take him back to the authorities at the end of this. Is that all right by all of you?
I
Yeah.
would prefer his death,
Yep.
but sure.
Uh, sure. Yeah. I'm actually with the tiny drow on this one.
Excellent.
All right. I'm ready to cast sending.
All right. Excellent. What would you like to send?
I would like to contact. Is there anyone that you want me to contact as well? I say to the group. I can do this 3 times if it comes to it.
Does it have to be the same message?
Not at all. I can contact 3 different people with 3 different messages, or send 3 different messages to the same person.
Well,
Send 3 different messages to the same person and ask that they send word to Malexi's temple. That we are trying to locate him within the Underdark and see if they
I
will send help.
I would suggest sending 2 messages to have this one arrested and one to aid Alexis. It's his temple. They should be able to, you know,
What
corroborate
temple?
between themselves to. Well, Oath of Conquest, he's quite terrifying, but
Would Valletta know anybody from the Neverwinter Oath of Conquest temple?
I would say so. Yes, I'd say that you would definitely have a contact, maybe even sort of like a known superior that might work out of the temple there that you'd be able to reach through to.
All right.
so I would suggest if there's a temple that can contact him, they can work it out amongst themselves. Contact them, but then securing this one is the higher priority.
Yeah. We advise them that with securing him, we have come across further information about further problems. We will be requiring a teleportation scroll to deal with that problem, and we require someone to contact Alexis and at least advise him we're on our way.
All right. Okay. Are you ready to send?
So I will contact the Temple of Ilmater and the Temple of the Oath of Conquest. Is there a third party? Was it Sterling's allies or some such that we were trying to get hold of?
Or one of the elders of my tribe.
Well, my spell will allow two-way communication. Just the message, the volume of the message is very limited. So if there is some key person of authority that we must warn besides these other two, um, who I may not be familiar with the Elder of the tribe, so that might be impossible.
Correct. Yeah, that's correct. I think you'd need to
Um,
be more aligned with understanding that tribe to be able to send through. So the
Hmm.
might have a
temple.
contact in Neverwinter of Sterling's
Yeah,
people.
there's definitely a known, and it probably would be connected with the cleric order as well. There's obviously a strong military presence in Neverwinter, so reaching out to sort of like a commanding officer or someone high up in the ranks would be a potential as well for Valletta.
Okay.
All right then. I will. Is there anything else you, the party wishes to add? Or
No, not at all.
No.
we are not telling them that we need a patrol to Fandolin to retrieve the wizard.
No. We
Mm,
are telling them we have dealt with it, or we will be dealing with it, or that we've captured him, and we will be bringing him back to them. However, we found another issue that requires him as well as a teleportation scroll, so we cannot hand him over just yet.
a teleportation scroll is even one is probably hard to come by, but do we need more than one? Like, how? What is the plan for the return trip?
That was my next question. But then how do we activate that unless we keep the spider alive?
Hmm. That's right. It would be a one-way trip with one scroll, so having two would definitely ensure that there is a two-way travel that is capable.
Then you're trusting the spider to not
Yeah.
teleport us to the heart of
Or
the drought.
or once
And
Kalen
then he
has
also knows that we
learnt,
can't.
yeah, once Kalen has learnt the teleportation ability or teleportation circle, once she is aware of the circle that is in the Underdark, if she knows of another that is, say, in Neverwinter or another location, she could teleport there by use of her magic instead of a scroll.
Is she
I
aware of
think
another circle?
I
Or do we
think
need to find one
personally on my
first?
history, we'd need to find one first. I
Yeah.
believe on my history, the closest I would find is back home.
Mm.
Would be the only one that I'd have memory of if I thought to memorize it,
Could
and I
we
do not want to go there.
could we rack our brains to think of one that like another one that may be in a nearby area that we could find before we go down?
I
You could
doubt it.
investigate. You
I
could investigate to try and find one, and try hedge bets as to a good location to try and pick one up. but it would take a bit of investigation to try find one.
I would
Well,
also like to point out it's going to take me quite some time to get 5th level spells.
yeah.
That is true.
I have a number of levels before I can get there.
I mean, if you get a scroll, you can, like, we can take the chance that you can make it work.
You could use it as a single use, but she could copy it down, but still wouldn't be a high enough level to be able to access it.
So
Then,
even if
it,
I had the scroll, would
it's
I?
on the list. Isn't it a difficulty check
For
if it's above
that
her
high
level?
up, I think it would be of far reach, and I think that's a wizard. I think that's a wizard feature as opposed to a sorceress.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh, in
Yeah,
that case, I forgot
I
about that.
don't get. I don't get.
Or even
I
copying
don't
down.
get 5th level spells
Yeah,
until 9th level sorcerer, and that's quite some way away.
Right then. Yeah, where that's gonna be.
I actually don't even know if I'm going to get there because looking at my plan, um, yeah, I have a few other levels I need before I can get anywhere near level 9 sorcerer.
Well, let's roll with the well, plan B.
Yeah. If all
probably a
comes
duo
to
would be good.
fail, yeah, if all comes to head, at most we just have to spend a couple of weeks returning. It doesn't
Oh,
traveling
I,
home,
I
as
thought you
long
were
as we've
say
dealt
like
with the issue.
I thought you were say like at worst I'll just teleport us somewhere and we'll work it out. Like,
No, I don't think I even get teleportation spells for quite a while.
All right. So it's a pretty short message that that Valletta can send, and
yes.
sending off to the two that are required. Is the idea to basically to send word to have someone bring a scroll, or to basically just advise them of what's happening.
Uh,
Um, so I will send a message to my high priest saying, please, please liaise with Sterling's military allies, whatever the organization is called,
Very good.
and with Oath of Conquest, uh, send teleportations. We require teleportation scroll at Fandolin for rescue mission. Be advised, Drow House Bannery Army, Goblin Orc Drow Dragon incoming. That kind of thing. Very
Nice. Yes.
curt. Yeah.
All right, and it's a two-way response with sending as well.
Yes, so I can do to my high priest first and sort of wait for his reply if there is any.
Nice. The high priest, as he replies back, you can hear a slight feverish panic in his voice as well as he responds, saying, "Aware of the incoming armies, they're not far now. Tele- Teleportation scroll might be a problem if they're blocking the roads, but we'll do our best. Stay safe, my child."
And yeah, I'll send a similar message to the other two. So I sort of ask that the three organizations, liaise with each other and with whatever other authority figures in Neverwinter need to be warned.
Nice.
and that the temple, Malexi's temple, tries to contact him and advise him that people are on their way.
Oh
All
yes,
right. Yep.
to please either because uh, any higher level cleric could scry for Malexis and cast sending to him. So they could cast sending to Malexis. Malexis could reply, and then my cleric could send to me, for instance, or whatever.
Aha.
So we can have some,
A
by
network of
proxy
communication.
communicate. Yep.
Nice. All right. I would say with that, somewhere in the Underdark, a lonely paladin who is stalking through the wilderness there would get the message coming through that someone is coming for you. Don't wander too far. That Malexis would respond and say, "I don't know where I am, but I won't go far.
That seems like a discomforting message to get in the Underdark.
But you would know
Someone's
the
coming.
person sending them. You would you'd know the person sending it to you. So you would
Ah,
know it's an ally, not.
hmm, sure. Just as somebody whispering in your ear, like, "Don't go far. I'm coming."
Don't go far. I'm watching.
Fuck 'em. What?
All right, excellent. So it sounds like from the response, Neverwinter does sound like it's aware of movement. They've probably got a bit more information now than they had before, which is nice. But help is potentially on the way if it can get through.
I mean, without siege weapons, I don't know what the orcs and goblins have in the way of siege weaponry, but if the drow have that, then maybe there'd be a threat. But otherwise, a large city like that might be difficult to take, with the exception of the dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say they have a dragon.
it's
They have a
potentially
dragon.
a large piece of siege weaponry.
Yeah.
We didn't even fight that thing. We ran.
I mean, at the point that that thing comes in, we should probably still run. He can have
Yeah.
that city. We'll get the next one.
Nice. All right. So with everything being squared up with reaching out um, to Neverwinter, uh, what would you guys like to do next? Is it time to put Wave Echo Cave behind us? And if so, how would you like to transport your captive?
Well, it's not a
I'll
far walk
No, it's
I'll
not.
unless you want to carry him.
here. I'm gonna stick my hand back into that pouch on my belt,
Okay. Oh,
and the weasel's back.
the weasel's back. Poof. His
He's like,
little
okay,
quixotic eyes looking up at you, almost like shrugging, like, why? What am I doing
I
here?
I just miss you, little guy. I pick him up and put him on my shoulder, and then I pick up the drow and put him on my other shoulder, and then just fucking walk off.
Nice. So,
Oh,
still,
oh, oh, oh!
still bound.
Don't go south. Don't go south. We want to go east. Exit.
Okay, yep. So you do,
Poison spores. I might be immune, but
yep,
the rest of you ain't.
yep.
That's a good call. I would have gone that way. All right, so
Nice. Okay, so with the drow in tow and ready to transport and still bound, you guys start heading out and towards over to Fandalen. So I shall shoot us over to a little transition map. Uh, Full map. Oops, no, I need to drag that. So as we go over, just give us a lay of the land of what we're going to be looking at. So hopefully this will come up soon. That can stop.
There we are.
Just let me know when it starts coming through.
Yep, I've got it on my end.
There's more on the map.
There is more on the map. It's opened up.
I don't know whether to be afraid or not.
So what we can see, I've placed a little icon down here. That is us. That is the party. Oops, and I just moved it. So we're
That's
here at
us.
Wavoko Cave.
Okay.
So what I've marked off are just a couple of spots where you've noted some things. So up here towards the northern end of the Neverwinter Woods was the Drow scouting team that you eluded and evaded and got out of the way of. Up here is another marker just kind of showing the Drow group that were at Cragmore Castle. Also, this little banner to be one of the Orc forces that you came across on Cragmore Castle. And this one over here is more so something that Valletta came across. Actually, part of her captors that she engaged with just south of the Shrine of Savras, which is probably going to come into play later down the line. But getting to Fandalen is pretty close. It's not even a day. It's about half a day to, or maybe 3/4 of a day to make the leg back to Fandalen. It's really not that tricky to get to. So as the group starts heading out and walking through the space of the large cavernous entry to Wave Echo Cave, there are still bodies that are littered around, dead orcs, a dead giant that has a large scorch mark on its head, or where its head used to be. All of them still lying in place, except for one. You can see one that's been dragged off out of the mouth of the cave. As you're walking through, your newfound friend is able to look at the prints or the markings on the ground and quickly ascertain that a rather opportunistic troll has grabbed hold of this body and has probably taken it to consume, but nothing else of note. As you guys head on towards Fandalen, there's no opposition. There's nothing that pops up or comes in your way. But as you start making your way over, I'll just mark over into Fandalen so that we can see it. Eventually, as it pops over, hopefully for you guys.
I have it. It's just loading
Excellent.
slightly.
It's doing
Here
its
we go.
thing. Very
I'm in.
good. Awesome. So as you start making your way quickly, the barren rocks that make up the foothills of the Icespire or the Sword Mountains starts to become more lush. There is more greenery. It's less barren rock. But you do notice as you're traveling that there's the faint kiss of snowfall that is sitting on the foliage as you're making your way closer and closer. And as you do get closer, you note that as the area starts to kind of give way to more of a rutted track, and you're making your way towards there within the foliage, you hear a trio of a voice up ahead call out to you saying, uh, "Who goes there? Who's that? What is?" And you hear the taunt pull of a bowstring or a couple of bowstrings as you're rounding towards to get Fandalen into sight. What would you like to do? They sound it's common, the language that's been spoken to you and asking you to identify yourself.
We are the group that cleared out the red brands. We are just passing back through,
And you
Helen
notice,
says with her hands up.
yeah, you see a hooded figure step forward, still with the bow pulled taunt. It's, oh, you can, oh, I remember you, and you see the bow ease off. As you walk forward, you can see a trio of humans that are standing guard. You don't remember seeing any guard like this previously, but you can quickly see that they're the bodies of two fallen orcs, both of them red-skinned and looking very tribal, very similar to what you've seen before with these orcs, lying dead on the side of the road with what looks like would have been arrows done to do the job. But you can see that the lead one seems a little bit relieved. It's like, oh, it's good to see you back. I think we're going to need your help. It looks like they're back. And he kind of nods towards the orcs. As he tries to smile at your return, you can see that all three of them are quite pained and fatigued. They're a little bit rough around the edges, but all three of them start hustling and saying, "Oh yeah, I remember that lot. They cleared out the red brands. You've got nothing to offer you, but thanks. But sure, I'd like to have you hang around for a little bit longer. Starting to think that getting rid of those red brands wasn't a
Unfortunately,
great idea."
Yeah, Dermot step forward and ask, like, what exactly is plaguing them this time?
Oh, that went a bit loud for a second there. Lost you for a sec there, Matt. Are you still there?
Yep, no, sorry, I was saying, can Dermot step forward and say, what exactly is plaguing you this time?
Well, orcs. These little bastards
is
that.
that freaking hail?
What was that, sorry?
Go.
Sorry, that was out of character. I think there's hail outside.
Oh, that's what
No,
that noise
nice.
is. Holy crap! That sounded
Yeah.
That
crazy.
would be awesome.
Just
If there is, take photos.
Oh,
You
nice.
wouldn't be able to see it at this time of night. It's pitch black out there.
Oh no.
Flash.
As Therman steps forward, the sentry says, "It's orcs. They're back again. They're trying to pick us off. They're just niggling at us like they used to. They're trying to." And you see him look over his shoulder, and you can see that one of their co-sentries has been wrapped with care. Obviously, no longer alive, but possibly lost in the last battle. The sentry just kind of nodding towards you and saying, "We're gonna have to fight back again. It's going back to the way it was."
which direction are they in?
All over. They've approached from the north, from the south. We've just got to stay on top of it, but there's more than there used to be, that's for sure. It's starting to look a lot like it used to.
We know of we know of some issues very similar to this. We have a solution, but the solution lies in another place that we're going to have to go. We have to essentially cut off the head of this problem. We may
That's
not be able to help here.
Well, that may be necessary while we are working out that solution. That will take some time. We could at least help this town.
If if they are bringing scrolls, possibly
Or, if you won't,
we
I
have.
can at least help this town.
any help will be appreciated, that's for sure, but maybe best you go in and talk to the town master. See what you can help with.
Ugh.
Is there anyone in town that is critically injured? I am a healer.
Uh, I don't know. I think everyone seems to be in alright shape, but we've lost a couple of our own. But I don't think you can do anything for him. And again,
Like,
just nods over to his companion that's been interred.
I mean, you could. A necromancer is just like a really late healer.
No, absolutely not. We do not defile the dead.
It's not defiling, it's healing.
Once they're dead, they're meant to stay dead.
But they don't have to stay dead.
I mean, did you ever
They
watch
have to
Scrubs?
stay dead.
Did you ever watch
They
Scrubs?
belong to another now. No.
No. Did you ever watch Scrubs?
Yes.
Like when JD's hiding in the body bag and he starts like moving in the elevator and
Oh god.
Doug starts beating him with the fire extinguisher.
Telling
Why are
him
you
to
doing
stay
this?
dead.
People should be dead.
Oh no.
Sorry,
But
it's like
the sentries start motioning you to come on by. I said, "Look, don't worry, we'll try hold it for now. But if you could help, that's great. But you go talk to the town master and just see what they know.
We'll try what we can.
So we can ask for maybe stay on for a while. We'll try and make it worth your while."
Kaelin looks over towards the drow currently being carried with a very tentative look like, that might not be a very good idea. She's not saying it out loud, but she's like, oh.
as we walk past, you see Thurman like slap him on the shoulder encouragingly and looking extra hairy as he does it.
Nice. So as you walk past, behind you, as you start walking, you hear one of the sentries bellow into a horn, a single blast, resounding behind you. This probably being the announcement of you coming into town now that they're taking more of a vigilant watch on the outskirts. So, and this is to kind of help with Valletta to get an idea of Vandalen as well. This town consists of about 40 to 50 simple log buildings. A lot of it is built on old fieldstone foundations, and more of the old ruins, crumbling stone walls covered in like ivy and briars. Uh, there's some newer houses and shops that seem to be built on the foundations of some of the older buildings, and just kind of shows that this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Most of the newer buildings are set on the sides of a cart track that runs down the middle of the trail here into the middle of town. You can see that track kind of widens into a muddy main street as it seems to kind of climb towards a ruined manor off to the east, which is an old ruined house up on the hillside there. And on some of the buildings on the outskirts, as you're traveling in, you notice burn marks. These could be areas that raiding orcs have probably tried to set light to, and some structures have been splintered and damaged. So, approaching into town, you notice that a once liberated and happy town when the party was last here, after driving out the Red Brands, has sunk back down to a population filled with fear and uncertainty. The townsfolk tending to chores and running errands are doing so quickly. Everyone is armed. That was normal back then and still holds now. And it's some sort of makeshift weapon. It could be a rake or a spear, or occasionally someone will have a longbow strapped to their back. They might seem like a hunter by trade, but you can tell that they're ready to pick up arms at any given notice. Many people as you approach, some of them whispering, and seem to take interest, but they all return to their business as you pass on by. As you walk back into Fandalen, what would you guys like to do first?
Uh, would the uh, lock up or keep to for prison be in the townmaster's hall?
Correct. Yes, it would.
I guess it's probably best we go there then.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to remind myself of that guy's name. That's right,
I don't even
Harbin.
have his name written down. I just called him Pompous Prick in my
Pompous
notes.
Prick. Yes.
Was this
Nice.
the one you jumped on the desk of and
Oh,
threatened?
yep, that's the one.
I tried to be like really sweet and innocent and then tried to flirt and then I got mad and tried to threaten and none of it worked. Like at all.
Oh, how times change.
Nice. So as you
Is
walk,
is this like an out loud in character conversation or
can be. So it's giving
Yes.
it's giving an
someone's
idea
just
of what
looking
happened.
like
I'm just going.
just like what the fuck were you guys doing here?
We were trying to help them. He's corrupt.
I just what? All right, sure.
And Karen kind of like looks again at the drow like, God, I hope he didn't hear much of that. Like,
Nice. So as you're walking towards
Karen,
the townmaster's
yeah.
hall, you can see that it's sturdy stone walls. It's got a pitched wooden roof and a bell tower at the back. And still posted on the board next to the front door is a notice that's written "Reward Orcs near Wyvern Tor." Those of a mind to face the Orc menace should inquire within. This was here previously as when you guys were doing the rounds.
Kaylin's gonna just walk up to the doors of the hall and just like slam them open as dramatically as possible.
As you slam them open, you see still sitting behind his desk. There is Harbin. He's still there. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's still there. Although the door was locked for a little while, he seems to be open back up again and just kind of narrows his eyes, looking towards Kalen, and then his eyes seem to widen up a little bit, and he comes kind of rushing out. No, no, no. We don't want any of you. We don't need any trouble. Please go away. No, not interested. Please, just go away. And he's trying to shoo you out of the town hall.
Kaylin just like brushes past him and goes, "We need your cells."
You need. You still have that bloody illuminated goblin down there that you left here last time. Have you come to take it away?
Oh, we left that here.
I want my pet back.
That is out loud. That is out loud. Oh, that's where we left it. Anyway, yes, we'll take that with us. We've got something else to leave there temporarily, but we'll take that with us too eventually.
Something else.
We also have
What the?
an emotion to the drow. A motion to the drow.
Oh, with that he steps back a little bit and falls silent. I think he's quickly realizing that he's out of his league here. So just do what you will with that. Oh God, I don't even want to know. Just don't tell me. Just put it where you're going to put it and just have at it.
That is something. No, I won't finish that. I was going to say that's what she said.
Put it in a cell and have at it. Too much Silence of the Lambs.
We also require some information from you.
What do you want to know? Ask away.
Orcs. We know you've had some problems.
Still a big problem, and they seem to be multiplying as well. They're becoming more and more of a frequent occurrence. I'm sure you would have
How
seen.
frequent?
Pretty frequent. At least every couple of days they make an attack now. I don't know if they're still at Wyvern Tor or if they're on the move, but it's a problem.
Is it, when you say every couple of days, do you mean literally every couple of days?
2 to 3 days,
They attack?
without fail, they attack.
Planned attacks.
Is it something
And
you
what have
know
you
about?
done about it?
We've done what we can
might.
about it. We've conscripted more to the local militia and we've posted them on each entry to the town. But we can't wage war.
Have you... Have you sent word requesting assistance?
We sent word back with one of our last shipments that came on through, one of the last carts, but I have no idea if they've made it back or not. But we wait in hope.
Okay. You were more helpful this time at least. Where's the prison cell?
Just don't set anything on fire, okay? Just... He motions
I
down
can't
towards...
promise that.
He motions
and
down
I light my
towards
hand on fire.
Oh God!
With a
He
smirk.
recoils back and just backs off, puts his hands in the air and starts walking out the doors. I need a drink.
Enjoy! Okay, we got the place to ourselves. Let's go.
There's a series of stairs that go down into the cells. There's only 4 cells down there, and one of them is a very well illuminated cell with a small, not still scruffy looking illuminated goblin, but he's looking a bit better for wear. He's seems pretty settled into his new climate.
Are there any of the other cells occupied?
No, the other 3 are empty.
Okay. I guess we toss Mr. Black Spider into one of these for now.
Okay. He's still bound and he's still gagged. So yeah, he's just sitting down on one of the benches now with his hands behind his back. His eye is looking towards you and he just raises one eyebrow. Can't tell if it's a smirk or a scowl under his gag.
I hope you like your new temporary lodgings. Kaelin smiles and walks towards the goblin cage.
Very nice. All right. So, you've got the town in front of you. What would you like to do next?
I would like to speak privately to the spider. Just like one-on-one in the cell.
All right. as you wait for everyone to kind of start making their way back up the stairs into the town hall, you've got a moment to speak with the spider directly.
I hope you have noticed from the toll this town has suffered that great is the sin of the warmonger.
I'm gonna guess that his gag is off for this as well.
Yeah.
He just
So
gets monologued at, and then the levels.
he smirks a little and looks up at Valletta, saying, I understand that you are for the people. I find it baffling that you would protect the weak. They become a liability in the long run, don't you think?
I I don't really agree. I think if we have the power to heal and the knowledge to heal, then I think healing is also universally recognized as a very noble pursuit. So it baffles me how a society that constantly orchestrates machinations and assassinations against its own kind can really profit as a culture.
It breeds strength, it breeds cunning. I'd imagine that life in the Underdark, if you do get to travel with us down there, you can see that life is less forgiving. Perhaps it's just the acclimatization and the way that the world works underneath. That only the strong will ever survive, and anything that weighs us down is sure death. But perhaps things are different up here. I leave that to your judgment, not to mine.
I understand a harsh environment, but the world above can be savage and cruel as well. Certainly, danger, peril, suffering, they all exist up here. But you always have a choice. There is no such thing as normal. You can choose the kind of culture you make.
I guess better the devil we know.
Oh.
Perhaps I can demonstrate a better way. In our journey together, the party fully intends to take you up on your offer. You will guide us to rescue their companion, and it looks to be that together we will defeat these rivals of yours, if only because they pose a threat to, to life both above and below. I would like to suggest, however, that when they are dealt with, you come back with us and turn yourself in to the authorities and serve your sentence. I think that, given the weight of your crimes, but also the lifespan of the drow, for you to have helped eliminate these great perils, and then serve out your sentence, and possibly come out of prison with many decades to go, you could do many good deeds with your talents and your time. The path of redemption is possible for you. Again, it's the choice is yours, and you are not bound to be the kind of person that you think drow are destined to be. And again, if you do choose to pursue your life of evil, it could well be the case that you succeed and dispose of your rivals and then dispose of us. But in the end, you will have to answer for your crimes anyway. It's inevitable.
It's true that justice, as you like to call it, is inevitable. I see that as the way nature enforces strength. But what strength do you think I could determine from sitting in a cell, seeing out a sentence? What strength do you think that could imbue in me as to be a different perception on the world, to find mercy for the weak? Or I'm curious, maybe to see the light of your God? I must admit I am curious of mind, but I'm just not recognizing what benefit I could deter out of serving a sentence, or if such a sentence would even be passed to me, would it not be death?
If I ascertain that you are honest in your intentions, I would intercede on your behalf to the best of my ability. I think that if you were to truly re- repent for your actions and thus selflessly diffuse these other threats to Neverwinter and the many thousands of innocent people, that a strong case could be made. And again, even if no terrestrial court might forgive you, the the gods will still take that into account because it's to them we all must ultimately answer. In a way, whatever punishment is meted out to you is largely irrelevant because what could it possibly matter balanced against eternity?
That is perplexing, but a delightful take on the scenario. Trading time for freedom. It's an interesting concept. I'll take it into
Yeah,
consideration. Let me muse over this. I must admit, in all honesty, it is not a path that I could ever truly perhaps entertain, not with an honest, open heart, but for you to put this forward is interesting. I'll take it into account. If anything, to understand mercy or to understand good from your perception.
I
It
am
could be
pleased that
knowledge.
you. Hmm. Well, imprisonment, execution, these are the methods that the terrestrial courts select from. I personally believe in rehabilitation, for instance, but we cooperate with the duly empowered officials of the law. I try to work within the system. Again, terrestrial courts are flawed. Sometimes they are corrupt. There are many men and women in the justice system who do their best, and I commend them for it. But ultimately, we just have to do our best here on Earth. It's what comes after that truly matters.
Hmm.
Perfection here may be impossible.
Very true. I find it very
For sure.
interesting. I would say to you, would it be
But it's
just of
thriving.
me? Would would it be good of me to kill my rivals to spare the lives of thousands of innocents, or are we transgressioning those very morals by killing my rivals?
Well, I would hope to put the case to them as well, and hopefully they would see reason. But
I would advise against it, my friend. Bolster your faith. It will be needed for the fight ahead. These two, they do not tend to magic like I do. They have perverted and twisted. They've encapsulated a more infernal, a more abyssal take on our arts. You're going to need your Lord and Savior as much as possible. I recommend you wield your faith as a weapon. Don't look for
if
anything other than their destruction, or they will destroy you.
they certainly seem very determined to either conquer or raise the cities above, so you may well be completely correct, and they may indeed give absolutely no weight to whatever I may care to say. And if that happens, rest assured I will protect the people of the lands above and below. I just think that for you, redemption is a long shot, given your crimes, but it is possible. And every sentient soul is a pearl of great price. I just wanted to let you know that I think it's possible for you, and if I can help and you are honest, I would be happy to assist and intercede on your behalf. Otherwise, if at the end of this you choose to turn on us, I will likewise do everything I can to ensure that your threat will be neutralized.
That's understandable. I appreciate your openness. I appreciate your concern as well. Baffling, but very much appreciated.
She'll just nod, like in a neutral way, and gently, put his gag and bag back on. Just
Gently,
like,
just put that in your mouth.
yeah.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah.
At some point, he's going to start thinking that we have a thing about that. Like,
At some point,
it's
he's
like
gonna
that's
start
how we like
enjoy it.
seeing people.
he's
Yeah.
he's gonna start enjoying it soon, which is gonna be a problem.
While Valletta is talking to him, Kaylin would like to go up to Stonehill Inn that she's previously been to
Oh yes.
and get some uh, ale and some food to bring back to the um,
Nice.
prison. But she will kind of sneak in the ale and the food past everyone else. She doesn't want the rest to know about it.
All right. As you do so, and you manage to slip in there pretty well unnoticed, and kind of sneak in, get a bit of food and sustenance, and if you're bringing it back to the Black Spider, manage to kind of sit down with him for but a moment until you hear the same horn blast that you heard before as you were entering. You hear it blast again. Sort of announcing the arrival of someone as they come on in. With that, you hear the thundering of hooves coming into the town centre, and quite a number of them as well. As you look out, either from the town hall or look out from the. I just got to make sure I'm looking at the map and can see what I think you can see. Yeah, looking out from either the Townmaster's Hall, or towards the Stonehill Inn, you see approximately eight horseback riders thundering into town. You can tell that the horses are all whinnying and neighing. They sound very much out of breath and exhausted. But here we go. So all of them seem to be soldiers, and at a glance, you can tell their mounts are streaked in dirt, the sweat, and also blood. The neighing and the whinnying, they're breathing hard, they're wide-eyed and chuffing while circling around, looking very nervous. And all of the riders look very much the same on their mounts. They're stained in the colours of combat. They are trying to soothe their mounts and calm them. All of the soldiers are dressed in the blue and white livery of Neverwinter, or the Guard. If Sterling was amongst you guys, he would very quickly recognize that these are soldiers. All of them slipping from their saddles, they start tending urgently to their hard-run mounts. One of the soldiers looking very shaky on her legs, a half elf as she looks a little bit wobbly. I'll start transitioning you over to the next map just as we're going through this as well. So you can tell that these soldiers have been hard on the run over God knows what kind of period of time. Can we get that to transition? Here we go. Now I've just got to get your tokens across there as well. So the tokens might need a little bit of work, but just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. There we go.
Kaylin will just say to the Black Spider, "That is for you, but I will help you with it when I'm back," and run up outside of the inn
All right.
into the courtyard area.
Nice. So in this area, you can see as they're all dismounting and taking care of their horses, you can see that there is one broad-shouldered. As the helmet comes off, you can see that it's a dragonborn. Begins ordering the soldiers and ferrying to help the horses. You can see that she's a copper skinned in complexion, and that she's even standing like about 6 foot tall. She looks. They all look exhausted and injured, but she's still standing quite strong. She is kind of looking around and ordering everyone around to do what they need to. But she looks over her shoulder towards the group and raises a hand and starts beckoning for you to come closer.
Are we going to do that?
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
walk up and. How did she raise that hand? Was it like palm down, palm up?
Palm up.
Cool. I'll give her a high five.
You can see the figure just kind of looks at Thermund, rather perplexed. But
I mean, I'm from the forest. I'm just like giving the best approximation of how people interact.
this is how
Fucking
people
humans.
do things, right?
Yeah. Also, I can't move my token. You'll have to do it for me.
Oh, okay, good call. Okay, I will fix
Kalen
that.
like face palms, like, oh my god.
Like, yeah, fellow human. Oh shit! Actually, I can use disguise self. Can I do that? Yeah, it's too late now.
Ah, it's all good. All good. So as she kind of greets and kind of gingerly high fives back, just looks at you a little bit cockeyed and's like, I'm Captain Astora of the Neverwinter Guard. Who are you? You from the stock that seems to be here. You look like you're probably the more hardy kind. Uh, might we be able to get a bit of help from you?
Sure. What kind of help do you need?
I think it's going to be rather martial. We've ridden
Excellent. I'm a
hard from.
terrible healer.
We've ridden hard from Neverwinter. There seems to be some forces that are on the move at the moment. We're probably hard pressed. I think we're probably not long determined until we're going to be back in combat. We've been chased the whole way here, but all I can ask is that maybe you help ready some defenses here. And as you're saying so, you hear another horn blast coming up from the. I guess on this map it's going to be over to the east. Oh, sorry, to the west. And but this time they're three blasts, and they just keep going. You notice that all of the villages around the area are starting to move. They're starting to draw weapons. They're starting to take up positions. They seem to know what this call means. They know that it's a call to arms. But I think that's where we'll leave it for now because we're just coming up to 12 o'clock. But as you look up the path towards the entry of Fandalen, you see at least four figures, lupine in shape but large, thundering towards the group. For Kayland and for Lara, you would recognize these from one of your previous encounters with orcs. These large lupine looking things appear to have small goblinoids mounted on their backs, and they're closing in fast.
If only Alexis was here.
If only.
Oh.
So look, I'll hold it there for now, but yeah, we'll be able to pick up from this spot when we jump onto the next session.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Too easy.
All right.
Hopefully, Katana and Sterling will have
I think they will
gotten
definitely
their.
be back. It would be a good idea to
Yeah.
have them back for this.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. We didn't leave.